Brooklyn College with a record of 4-3, Lehman with a record of 5-2, Lehman on a 5-game winning streak. Brooklyn coming off 2 straight wins. I'm Adam Lockley, my broadcast partner, Brock Myers. And Brooklyn winning their last 2 games by a pretty easy margin, 21 points against John Jay and 58 points against Medgar Evers. But tonight, obviously a much tougher test as Lehman is on a 5-game winning streak. And I throw it over to my broadcast partner, Brock. What is the game plan for Brooklyn to win this game against the Lehman Lightning?
You know, one of the big things they've got to worry about is Lehman is deadly from behind the three-point line. As a team, they're shooting at 40%, which is really unheard of at this level, especially for women's basketball. What I'm looking at is Karen Walker, who's a forward for Lehman. She is averaging a double-double right now. She's scoring 14.3 points a game and a little more than 10 rebounds a game. So what I'm going to see is Megan Campbell and Asia Foster for Brooklyn are going to have to play one-on-one defense from her. They're going to get no perimeter help defense because as a team, Lehman shoots so well behind the three-point line that you cannot have your perimeter defenders crashing down and leaving wide open three-pointers. So that's going to be something that you're going to want to look out for, is to see how well Megan Campbell and Asia Foster can play in that one-on-one defense, because it's going to be on them to really put the pressure on themselves and to really hold that down, because perimeter defenders for Brooklyn are going to have a struggle. They've got to get their hands up. They've got to put an end to the hot shooting that Lehman has been on lately.
And Brooklyn, speaking of three-point shooting, throughout this season so far, they've struggled mightily from the three-point line, shooting just 18.3%. One of their better three-point shooters, Vanessa D'Ambrosi, shooting 28% from 3 this year. She was injured last year, and it was good to see a small sign of her returning to where she was a couple of years ago from three-point range, hitting 6 3-pointers against John Jay. But then Brooklyn College as a team took a step back against Medgar Evers, shooting 2 out of 16 from the three-point line, and they really got to pick it up from three-point range. And as you were talking about on the defensive side, it's going to be really tough because Lehman is very good in the paint with Karen Walker averaging 14 points and 10 rebounds, and Lehman, on the other hand, shooting 40% from 3. And one player we have to talk about is Jennifer Navarro.
Jennifer Navarro is leading the nation in three-pointers per game. It's right around five three-pointers she's making per game. She also, I believe, led the nation in three-pointers made last season.
Exactly.
So this is something, if she's got an open shot, she's got the green light, she's going to take it. So that's when that pressure on those perimeter defenders. And also, Karen Walker, it opens up a lot of things for her. That's how she's able to average 14 points a game. And probably a good chunk of how she's getting is offensive rebounds.
Yeah.
Because when you're running out there, obviously 40% is still a good percentage. That obviously means more times than not shots going to be missed. And if you're focusing everything on stopping that shot, that opens up the offensive boards and the putbacks for Karen Walker. So again, that's where the pressure is going to be on the down low defenders for Brooklyn. They've got to get in position. They've got to block out. And the perimeter defenders are probably going to see a lot of man-on-man tonight.
And Lehman, Brooklyn will have to really be careful to take care of the basketball. Coming into this game, Lehman, in the midst of their 5-game winning streak, their opponents averaged 22 turnovers against them. So Nicole Francomano really has to do a good job taking care of the basketball tonight if they're going to have a chance to win this game against the Lightning.
Absolutely. When you've got a team that plays tough defense and really gets after it, you've got to rely on your point guard to not turn the ball over and to make the smart play. Now, luckily, Francomano is very good at point guard. She knows this offense well, and she runs it well. She's seen some pressure a lot. A lot of teams like putting that full court pressure on her just to get her out of her game because they know how scary she can be.
Yes.
You don't want to give her the ball up to half court. So probably see a lot of full court pressure on her. They're going to try to get them out of sync with that. And really with Brooklyn, it just comes down to executing. Mm-hmm. You just got to play the game that you've always played and got to know what you're doing. And, I mean, you've got 2 teams right now, 3-0 in conference play. Brooklyn they had that big win over Medgar Evers where they only allowed 22 points. Lehman had a little tougher game. They still won by 30.
Yes.
It was still a 30-point
32-point win, exactly.
So as much as it didn't look as impressive, It was still an impressive win. The big thing was, I know they had a close one against York. I think it came down to 2 points.
They won by 2 points, yes.
So it'll be interesting to see that they've got those two common opponents that Brooklyn's done a little bit better against. But when it comes down to when both teams are on the court, you're going to see a lot of pressure defense from Lehman. And with Brooklyn, they're going to want to probably look to slow this game down a little bit because they cannot let Lehman get out and run in a fast break because that's going to open a lot of things up for them.
And also another great inside presence Brooklyn has to really use tonight comes off their bench tonight. Nasirima Mann, a very good rebounder, very good at putting it back, very relentless on the offensive glass. And
Rima Mann is actually leading them in field goal percentage right now.
Yes,
She's shooting 57% from the floor. So she is someone that can come off the bench and provide a spark for them. Brooklyn goes a little bit deeper than Lehman.
Yes.
And so that's what they're probably going to look to do is really look at their bench, specifically Rima Mann, to try to provide that spark and get this team going.
And so as you mentioned, both teams 3-0 in the CUNYAC Conference. And in the midst of that 3-0's record, both of them have had fairly easy opponents. These are probably, of the three good teams in the CUNYAC League, these are the two better teams in the league so far. So both teams will really face their first test tonight.
And again, I think you mentioned it at the Open. Lehman's won 5 games in a row.
Uh-huh.
They lost their first 2 games. I believe they had a tournament down in Virginia. Mm-hmm. And since then, they have been on a tear. They've really kind of gelled as a team. I think they figured out their spots. And when you've got just about all 5 of their starters are right around that 10 points a game mark. They're either over 10 or just under. So this is a team that can put points on the board. Yeah. And as you mentioned, forcing 22 turnovers a game recently. And that is a huge part of how they're able to put points on the board, is creating defensive stops, getting out in transition. But hopefully Brooklyn goes a little bit deeper. It hopefully will help them as the game goes on.
Yes, Brooklyn really has to be careful tonight, as I mentioned. Taking care of the basketball, moving without the ball, moving the basketball, dumping the ball inside, using Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell had an amazing game against them last year, 24 points and 8 rebounds. And also Nicole Francomano had 14 points, 11 assists, and 11 steals against them last year. So that's a big number. Francomano leads them in steals so far this season with 2 per game.
Right, and lately Megan Campbell has not been scoring as much. These last couple games, she really hasn't been putting the ball in the basket as much, but she's still been effective. Megan Campbell is still probably the most dangerous player on the team for Brooklyn, despite the fact she's not scoring as much, and she's not even getting as many rebounds. She's second behind Asia Foster in rebounds. But she's still someone that you've got to focus on defensively because you cannot just give her an open spot. She's going to be effective, but you've got to be able to focus on her if you're Lehman. And when you're Brooklyn, you've got to use that to your advantage. You got to open up everybody because Megan Campbell, still an effective player. I believe she's still probably working out an injury she had earlier in the season. Yeah. So hopefully if she's getting a little bit healthier, it's going to be something that Brooklyn can rely on because, again, she's probably going to have to go one-on-one defense. Yeah,
and Brooklyn, against the better teams they've played this year, they've been known to fall behind early. They've had a propensity of falling behind early. And one thing I look at based on that is the free throw line. Shooting just 58.5% from the free throw line. And the free throw line is important when you fall behind because you get free throws when the clock is stopped, the clock is not moving, and they're free. So Brooklyn, if by any chance they fall behind tonight, really has to take advantage of Lehman from the foul line, getting the ball inside and stopping this clock.
They do need to take advantage of that when you get the freebies, you got to knock them down. It's going to be a real key because, I mean, when you're sitting there and you're looking at you're down 5 points, but you've missed 6 free throws. That's something that you're going to look at as being something that is a focus of we've got to knock these down when we get the opportunity. And we'll see how that happens tonight.
Brooklyn, as I mentioned a few minutes ago, known as a three-point shooting team. And I've seen so far this year, they've been dying by the three-point shot. 5 out of 28 in one game, 1 out of 19 in one game. And you got to show a little more versatility in your offense if you're going to keep teams' defenses guessing.
You've got to be able to not force three-pointers, take the shot when it's open. So we'll see how they handle it tonight against a really good Lehman Lightning team.
So we'll step aside. I'm Adam Lockley with Brock Myers. We'll be back in a few minutes.
word is the future.
Ladies and gentlemen, it is the future. You are listening to WBCR Radio. You've heard him on KCC Radio, Hofstra University.
Brooklyn College Bulldogs basketball teams resume CUNYAC play on Saturday, December 6th on the road as they visit the John Jay Bloodhounds. Tip-off for the ladies at 12 p.m., tip-off for the men's at 2 p.m. Bulldogs continue their road trip to Medgar Evers College against the Cougars on Tuesday, December 9th. Tip-off for the ladies at 6 p.m., tip-off for the men's at 8 p.m. Bulldogs bring their play back home on Friday, December 12th against Lehman College Lightning. Tip-off for the ladies at 5 p.m., tip-off for the men's at 7:15 p.m. Pre-game coverage starts half an hour before game time. You're listening to WBCR via Spreaker.com, your home for live Bulldog sports.
Talking Point, where we talk about anything and everything. In this show, you get the news of the day with a funny and witty twist. Listen to Talking Point with Florence Mafomeme, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. at mywbcr.com.
Right now, each and every Thursday. It's the Frequency Takeover, baby. With the Kid French. I'm talking music, movies, and whatever's high in these streets. And who knows, we might even talk about you. With the guest artist and the guest DJ every week, you don't want to miss a show. Check me out at 2 p.m. on Brooklyn College Radio. Yeah, it's gonna be a movie.
Starting five. They're sticking with what they know and what's been working out well for them. Obviously, Jennifer Navarro, Karen Walker are the two key ones that they're going to be looking at. Your two leading scorers, but also with Karen Walker, your leading rebounder, who's averaging a double-double. And again, as we get ready for this, looking like the Bulldogs are going to start with Karen Mack at a guard, and they're going to go with Megan Campbell as well. So again, Megan Campbell's probably early on is going to have that pressure on her playing one-on-one down low.
As Brooklyn College gets ready, we get set for the opening tip-off. Lehman in their huddles, Brooklyn College in their mid-court huddle. Getting set for the start of this game. As you mentioned, Brooklyn at 4-3 on a 2-game winning streak. Lehman at 5-2, and they're on a 5-game winning streak. Both teams 3-0 in the CUNYAC Conference.
It's always one of those games, and I mean, yes, it's only 3 games in, but still, when you've got two teams that are undefeated in league play, this is a big one to really kind of show everyone else in the conference that, hey, this is our big game of the year, and we stepped up and we really played well. So you got these two teams that are leading, or tied with the lead in the conference, that someone's got to make a statement here tonight. Someone's got to be able to prove, listen, this is what we're about, and we want to take that lead as we get ready for the tip.
As Megan Campbell will jump against Yarmiche Jones. Tip controlled by Karen Mack of Brooklyn College as we get set right here. Nicole Francomano with the midcourt logo. Nicole Francomano out top. Karen Mack moving out the ball. Karen Mack gets the ball to Vanessa D'Ambrosi at the left wing to Megan Campbell in the corner. Megan Campbell drives inside, pulls up. It's good, and Brooklyn now leads 2-0. They score first. Up court to Karen Walker. Karen Walker to Yarmiche Jones. Jones driving inside, lays it up against Campbell, lays it up and in, and we're tied at 2. As we continue here, Nicole Francomano pushing the ball up court. Lehman in that zone. Francomano setting up the offense to Karen Mack. Karen Mack back to Francomano. Francomano to Vanessa D'Ambrosi, to Asia Foster, to Vanessa D'Ambrosi, to Megan Campbell. Back to D'Ambrosi for three. It's good from the right corner, and Brooklyn now leads 5-2. They're off to a good start offensively.
The big key for Brooklyn. They got to knock down open shots when they got it like that.
Out top is Karen Walker. Karen Walker back to Del Rosario. Del Rosario drives in. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell gets set. Gives it to Francomano. Francomano pushing it up the floor to D'Ambrosi, a wide open corner three. It's good. 2 in a row already, and Brooklyn is off to a fast start, leading 8-2 in the first 1 minute, 17 seconds. Timeout, Lehman College.
Just what we talked about in the beginning of the game, that when Brooklyn has a chance, when you've got a good open shot, you've got to knock it down. And that is what Francomano has done so far.
Yes.
She's getting a really good looks down low. Also, if you notice, Lehman is really attacking the basket right now. They're trying to force Brooklyn to play down low to open up those three-pointers. So something to watch out for. They look like they're attacking early on.
Francomano's done a good job pushing the ball and finding the open three-point shooter, D'Ambrosi, and it's good to see that there is some life in her three-point shot. She struggled in the last few games.
And also, Brooklyn College is doing a good job of moving the ball around in the zone, making Campbell's getting in the right spots. Early on, they really moved the ball well, and that opened up making Campbell down low.
As Lehman gets set, dribbling the ball up the court is number 23. 23, Reyes. Out top is number 21. 21, Emily De Rosario. De Rosario driving in, lays it up off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up court. Francomano stops, drives, spins, and we have an offensive foul as Emily De Rosario drew the charge.
Yeah, it's one of those problems where Francomano, she clearly threw her arm out, and any time where you show that much of a push, the referee had it was also right in front of the referee.
Yes,
they had no choice but to make that call.
Right now she's getting pretty excited after causing 2 open three-pointers from the corner. As Jennifer Navarro sets up the offense to Emily De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Francomano. Francomano to number 13, Lightborn, to Navarro. Navarro spins to her right. Stolen away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi pushing the ball up court. Stops as Lehman gets back to Asia Foster out top to Francomano. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi for three. Off the side rim, no good. And the ball is knocked out of bounds by Lehman. Will stay right here. Brooklyn will get a fresh 30-second shot clock.
That's one of those shots where I think she might have been forcing it because she's had the hot hand, but not the good look.
Francomano fakes, drives, baselines, has it stolen away by Navarro. Navarro pushing the ball up court. Navarro to De Rosario. De Rosario stops. De Rosario back to Navarro. Navarro driving to De Rosario for three. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up court. Francomano stops. Francomano to Karen Max. Karen Max back to Francomano. Has it tipped away. Francomano gets it back. Francomano out top, setting up the offense. Francomano drives to her right to Karen Max. Karen Max in the corner. Karen Max at the right wing. Inside to Megan Campbell at the baseline. Baseline jumper is good. And Brooklyn's on a quick 8-0 run. Dribbling up the floor is Emily De Rosario. De Rosario setting up the offense. Brooklyn leading 10-2. We played exactly 3 minutes. De Rosario guarded by Francomano to number 13, Amani Lightborn. Lightborn to Karen Walker to Emily De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Nicole Francomano, gets a pick, shoots a three. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Nicole Francomano. Nicole Francomano pushing the offense up the court. Francomano stops to Karen Max. Karen Max looking, gets it to Megan Campbell. Gets it to Vanessa D'Ambrosi, drives baseline, lays it up off the glass. It's good, no, it's good, but we have an offensive foul on Vanessa D'Ambrosi as number 11, Yarmiche Jones, drew the charge, and we have a substitution for Lehman as Linda McKayen will check in for Karen Walker.
D'Ambrosi did exactly what you'd like to see with someone with a hot hand. She pump faked. Unfortunately, she was a little out of control. Didn't notice that Jones was right there in perfect position to take the charge. Yeah, smart play, but she's got to know how to finish it a little bit better.
Nasrima Mann and Sarah Shanderson will check in for Brooklyn as Emily De Rosario will set up the offense for Lehman. 10-2 Brooklyn. We played 3.5 minutes. De Rosario out top to number 3, Linda McCain. McCain guarded by Nasrima Mann aggressively. In the post is number 11, Yarmiche Jones. Off the glass, no good. We have a foul. The foul on Lehman. And that's on number 21. Number 21, Emily De Rosario. As Frank Romano sets with the offense. Frank Romano to the midcourt logo. 10-2 Brooklyn. Frank Romano out top, guarded by Emily Del Rosario. Frank Romano crosses over, drives to her left, lays it up. It's good. And Brooklyn at least 12-2. They're on a 10-0 run now. As Emily Del Rosario sets up the offense, pushing it up court, stops to number 13, Amani Lightbourne, misses the layup. Offensive rebound, Lehman. Outside, Emily Del Rosario drives to her left. It has tipped away, stolen away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Frank Romano. Frank Romano pushing up court, stops to Megan Campbell, lays it up and in. And Brooklyn now leads 14-2. They scored 12 straight points, getting out in the break.
Really good job of getting their hands on the ball defensively and creating a lot of good transition offense.
Del Rosario setting up the offense, guarded by Frank Romano. To Amani Lightbourne. Lightbourne guarded by D'Ambrosi. Drives to the foul line, lays it up, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Shanderson to Nicole Frank Romano. Frank Romano pushing up court. Frank Romano drives, lays it up off the glass. No. Rebounded by Man. Man outside to D'Ambrosi. A wide open three. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Emily Del Rosario, pushing the ball up court. Shanderson is back. Del Rosario drives inside, had to taken away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Nicole Frank Romano. Frank Romano pushing it up the court, lays it up, no, but she is fouled. Foul is on number 11, Yarmiche Jones, and Nicole Frank Romano will get 2 free throws.
And again, we're talking about how Brooklyn's playing really well defensively right now. They're getting their hands in passing lanes, something that Lehman's been doing recently. They're forcing a lot of turnovers, creating a lot of transition offense, and now let's see if they can finish this up with some good free throw shooting.
Brooklyn doing a really good job getting out on the break off turnovers. As Frank Romano will get 2 free throws. Romano takes 2 dribbles. First free throw is up. Off the front rim and in. Brooklyn now leads 15-2. We now have a substitution for Lehman as Karen Walker and number 23, Jennifer Navarro, will check in for Amani Lightbourne. And Brooklyn, Karen Mack, will check back in for them. Frank Romano gets set. Second free throw is up. And good. Brooklyn now leads 16-2. They're on a 14-0 run as Jacqueline Grasso will check in for Nicole Frank Romano. Emily Del Rosario sets up the offense, guarded by Jacqueline Grasso. Del Rosario at the midcourt logo. Del Rosario to Linda McCain. McCain guarded by D'Ambrosi, picks up her dribble. To Karen Walker, guarded by Asia Foster. And we have a foul on Asia Foster.
Yeah, Asia was trying to play, again, we talk about trying to play physical defense, not allowing Walker to get a good look. Unfortunately, it was a little too physical, got called for a foul, but exactly what you want to see from Brooklyn right now.
Inbounds pass to Yarmiche Jones. Yarmiche Jones to Linda McCain. Linda McCain drives to her right. Drives inside, lays it up off the glass. No, rebounded by D'Ambrosi. Stolen back. And we have a foul on Brooklyn as Lehman got the ball back really quickly. And they'll get a fresh 30-second shot clock as they'll take it out. 16-2 Brooklyn. 14.5 to go in the first half. As Megan Campbell will check in for Asia Foster. As Lehman gets set to inbound the basketball. Inbound pass to Lightbourne to McCain. McCain guarded by D'Ambrosi. Picks up her dribble. In trouble. Inside to Karen Walker. Fakes, shoots, and it's good. And that ends Brooklyn College's 14-0 run. Pushing the ball up the court is Jacqueline Grasso. Grasso at the midcourt logo. Grasso setting up the offense, guarded by Emily Del Rosario. Grasso to Karen Max. Karen Max out top. Karen Max looking. Gives it to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi, and I believe we have an offensive foul on Brooklyn.
It's going to be an illegal screen on Grasso.
Legal screen on Jacqueline Grasso. That's her first. We have a substitution. Yarmiche Jones will check in for Linda McCain. Brooklyn leading 16-4, 14 minutes, 5 seconds to go here in the first half. As Emily Del Rosario sets up the offense, approaching the midcourt logo, guarded by Jacqueline Grasso. Grasso to Yarmiche Jones. Inside to Yarmiche Jones. Fakes, turns, scores, and Lehman has scored 2 baskets in a row. The score is now 16-6, Brooklyn. Pushing the ball up the court is Jacqueline Grasso. Grasso drives inside. It's to Nasrima Man. Man inside to Megan Campbell. One dribble, fires off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Del Rosario. Del Rosario pushing the ball up the court, losing it, gets it back. Del Rosario guarded by Jacqueline Grasso. To Amani Lightbourne. Amani Lightbourne guarded by D'Ambrosi. Lightborn inside to Yarmish Jones. Picks up her dribble. Driving inside is Rosario. Lays it up off the glass, and no, it's no good. Rebound by D'Ambrosi to Jacqueline Grosso. Jacqueline Grosso pushing. Grosso drives to her left, stops to Megan Campbell out top. Campbell takes a long jumper off the front rim, no good. A little bit out of her range. Man with the rebound, has it stolen away by Amani Lightborn. Emily De Rosario gets the ball at the midcourt logo. De Rosario to number 13, Lightborn off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Campbell. Campbell looking, gets the ball to Jacqueline Grosso. Jacqueline Grosso out top, sets up the offense. Grosso nearly has it stolen, gets it back. Grosso guarded by De Rosario. Grosso drives to the middle to Vanessa D'Ambrosi, driving to the foul line, floats it up, no, but she will get 2 free throws.
Good job of really penetrating when she had an opportunity there. Really, I think she was looking to draw the foul right there, which she did. Almost put it in to finish it for a possible 3-point play, but either way, good job of drawing the foul. Now she's got 2 shots at the line.
Yeah, good show of versatility by D'Ambrosi, not just shooting threes, but driving to the basket to get fouled. D'Ambrosi, a 92% foul shooter. First free throw is up and good. Brooklyn at least 17-6. We have a substitution for Lehman. Lucera Madrico will check in for Yarmish Jones and Emily De Rosario. For Brooklyn, Karen Max will check in. Second free throw for D'Ambrosi is good. And Brooklyn now leads 18-6. As Frank Amano will check in for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. 18-6 Brooklyn, 12 minutes, 38 seconds to go here in the first half. As Jennifer Navarro switches to the point guard position, setting up the offense. Guarded by Karen Max. To number 13, Yarmish Jones. And we have a foul on Jacqueline Grosso, which she was a little too aggressive on Amani Lightborn.
Yeah, a little too aggressive there, but right idea. Want to get out there, trying to really kind of take them out of their rhythm.
As Chrissy Heyer will check in for Jacqueline Grosso. Coach Lang upset with Jacqueline Grosso for committing that foul. Lehman will inbound the basketball. Inbounds pass goes to Jennifer Navarro. Jennifer Navarro to Amani Lightborn, guarded by Karen Max. And we have a traveling violation on Amani Lightborn. Good defense by Karen Max.
Yeah, she did a good job there forcing that, and really a mistake you don't want to see Lehman making right now up there trying to get back in this game.
As Frank Amano sets up the offense. Frank Amano guarded by Lightborn. Frank Amano out top. Gets it to Chrissy Heyer. Chrissy Heyer guarded by Linda McCain. Outside to Karen Max. Karen Max drives baseline, and she stepped out of bounds. Wait, no, a foul on Lehman, actually. Foul is on number 23, Jennifer Navarro. As we have a substitution for Lehman, De Rosario will check in for number 12, Lucera Madrigal. Inbounds pass goes to Robin Gailey inside. It's knocked out of bounds. No. Lehman comes up with it. It's a turnover for Brooklyn. McCain comes up with it to De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Chrissy Heyer. Outside to Navarro for 3. Off the back rim, no good. Offensive rebound by Navarro. Gets her own rebound. In the corner to De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Heyer. In the corner to number 15, Karen Walker. To De Rosario, driving, floats it up, off the front rim, no good, rebounded by Frank Amano. Frank Amano pushing the ball up court. Frank Amano pushing, driving, outside, knocked out of bounds by Navarro. Brooklyn will have the ball with 24 seconds on the shot clock, 11 minutes, 30 seconds to go here in the first half.
One of the things you're seeing from Lehman, De Rosario is taking a lot of the shots right now. Brooklyn's doing a pretty good job of defending Walker, not giving her open looks. Also, not giving a lot of open looks to Navarro. She had that one look at 3. She wasn't able to knock it down. But De Rosario's been the one taking a lot of shots right now.
Yeah, her first good look tonight. The inbounds pass goes to Frank Amano. Frank Amano inside to Megan Campbell, goes outside to D'Ambrosi, lays it up and in. Good cut by D'Ambrosi. Brooklyn now leads 20-6 with 11 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the first half. De Rosario setting up the offense, guarded by Chrissy Heyer. De Rosario to number 15, Karen Walker. To De Rosario, guarded by Heyer. De Rosario out top. De Rosario drives, forcing it off the glass, no good. And Chrissy Heyer comes up with it to Megan Campbell. To Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up court. Francomano stops. Inside to Gailey. Lays it up. No good. Elaine, I mean. And coming up with it is De Rosario. She pushes the ball up court. De Rosario to Navarro. Navarro fakes. Drives to the foul line. Back to De Rosario. Guarded by Chrissy Heyer. De Rosario out top with the midcourt logo. 18 on the shot clock. Del Rosario, still dribbling, picks up her dribble, looking, gets it to number 11, Magical, outside to Karen Walker for three. It's good, and Brooklyn outleads Lehman 20-9 with 10.5 to go here in the first half. Francomano setting up the offense, guarded by Del Rosario. Francomano at the midcourt logo. Francomano crosses over to her left, picks up her dribble, outside to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi out top. D'Ambrosi back to higher, tipped away, stolen away by Del Rosario. Del Rosario pushing up the court. Del Rosario against Megan Campbell off the glass, no good. Rebound, Yarmiche Jones misses the layup, no good, but she is fouled. She'll get 2 free throws.
That's exactly what we were talking about in the pregame. That's Lehman right there, forcing turnovers and getting out in transition. Also, regularly, you don't want to see Del Rosario go up against Megan Campbell, who's averaging about 4 blocks a game right now.
Yeah.
And so, but it worked out for him. They got an offensive board now. They shot at the line for Jones.
As Yarmiche Jones will get 2 free throws. Gets set. First free throw is up. Off the glass and in. As we have a substitution. Karen Max and Mann will check in for Elaine. And for Lehman. As Jones will get another free throw. Free throws up and good. And Lehman is now within 9 points, slowly chipping away. As Francomano drives to her right, inside, off the back rim, no good. Gets her own rebound, goes up, lays it in. And I don't know how that happened, but she got the offensive rebound, put it back. Brooklyn now leads 22-11.
Defender looked like she was going a little too much for the shot, or for the block, and that allowed her to get the offensive board.
We go inside to Yarmiche Jones, guarded by Mann. Outside to Lightbourne. To Del Rosario, back to Lightbourne. Lightbourne fakes, drives inside. To Del Rosario, an open three is nothing but the bottom of the net. And the lead is now cut to 8, 22-14 Brooklyn. Lehman is on an 8-2 run. As Francomano sets up the offense. Francomano out top, guarded by Del Rosario, drives to her left. Inside to Megan Campbell, lays it up, no good. Rebounded by Mann, blocked, rebounded by Karen Walker. Pushing it up to Emily Del Rosario. Del Rosario, guarded by Francomano. Del Rosario out top, setting up the offense. Del Rosario setting up. She shoots a three. Way off, and it sails out of bounds. Brooklyn will get it back.
Del Rosario really seems like she's feeling it right now. She's going to try to put that one up. I mean, it wasn't open, but, you know, right now, because as we get a timeout here, you know, we talked about Del Rosario's taking a lot of the shots right now. She looks like she's really trying to really spark this team right now, seeing as that Navarro's not getting many open looks, and neither is Walker, which is a big thing for Brooklyn right now. But also, Francomano doing a great job of running this offense and getting her teammates in position.
Yes, every chance she gets, she's pushing the ball up the court, looking for a fast break basket. And if she's not doing that, as you heard early on, you have 2 open three-pointers from Vanessa D'Ambrosi. And on a couple of occasions, we haven't seen it much so far. We've seen Brooklyn being pretty relentless on the offensive glass, being unable to finish on a couple of occasions, but we like their aggressiveness.
But yeah, you still like to see offensive boards because eventually those are gonna fall. It doesn't. You get enough times, one of those is gonna knock it down, because sometimes you don't expect it to be there. It's almost like how am I this open, and then I got to put it back up. So they're not really thinking of it yet. But they're doing a really good job, not only offensively, defensively. They're really crashing the boards. A really big advantage that they've got over Lehman right now is that they're rebounding much, much better than the Lightning are.
Yes, they are, and using it to their advantage right now as we get some stats right here. Brooklyn also a good start, shooting 47% from the field, 8 of 17 overall, and doing a great job on Lehman. Lehman up to a slow 5 out of 20 start from the field, and only 2 out of 6 from the three-point line. They shoot 40% from there.
And we're talking about rebounds. Brooklyn's at 16, Lehman only at 8.
As we get set to resume action, Francomano setting up the offense. 22-14 Brooklyn, 8:45 to go in the first half. Francomano out top. Drives, stops, inside. Outside to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to the foul line. Inside to Mann. Has it knocked away and stolen away by Amani Lightbourne. To Navarro. It goes out of bounds. That ball is off Karen Mack, and the ball will stay right here with Lehman.
Yeah, that's a situation where you'd like to see Mack just let it go, because Navarro was not going to get back to it. Instead, she knocks it out and gives Lehman the ball back.
Yeah, at first I thought that was a definite turnover, but Lehman will get it back with 25 seconds on the shot clock, 8.5 to go in the first half. They get set to inbound. Inbounds pass goes to Walker. Walker guarded by Megan Campbell. Walker to Navarro. Navarro guarded by Karen Max. Here's McCain guarded by Frank Amano. Back to Walker, driving inside. Out to Lightbourne. Lightbourne driving against traffic. No. Rebounded by Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing up court. Francomano lays it up. No. But she will get 2 free throws. And Francomano continues to push the basketball every chance she gets.
And I tell you what, she's not afraid to really go towards the basket on these. You know, she's not necessarily looking to pass because the passing lanes aren't open.
Yeah.
And it's nice to see that she's got no problem taking it to the basket when she's got an opportunity. And now she's getting 2 free throws because of it.
We like her aggressiveness, so she'll get 2 free throws. Takes 2 dribbles. First free throw is up. And good. Brooklyn now leads 23-14. Francomano gets set for her second free throw. Free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Yarmiche Jones. Yarmiche Jones pushing. Pushing the ball court. Brooklyn is back. Spins, lays it up against man. No. Rebounded by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Francomano. Francomano pushing it up court to Karen Max. Karen Max fakes. Inside to Campbell. Lays it up. No, we have a traveling violation on Megan Campbell as Lehman forces the turnover inside.
Yeah, she was trying to get in position right there and just really didn't have it. Caught the ball in a situation. She tried going without the dribble, but she's probably taken one more dribble. Would have had the shot, but instead she tried going right up, and it was a clear travel.
Daryl Sario checks back in for Jennifer Navarro as Daryl Sario sets up the offense, guarded by Karen Mack. 23-14 Brooklyn, 7:47 to go here in the first half. In the corners, Karen Walker, guarded by Megan Campbell. To Daryl Sario, to McCain, to Lightbourne for 3, off the glass, way off, rebounded by Megan Campbell. Francomano pushing. Pushing it up court against Daryl Sario. Drives, knocked out of bounds. It'll stay right here with Brooklyn.
That's going to count as a block shot on that. I think she was going up for the layup.
Yeah, block shot as getting another substitution as Jennifer Navarro will check back in for Yarmiche Jones. She gets about 1 minute rest.
Yeah, they probably want to get Navarro on the court as much as possible.
Yeah, inside to Campbell, missed the layup, and Navarro comes up with it. Navarro pushing the ball. Navarro, Brooklyn is back to number 21, Daryl Sario. Daryl Sario to Lightbourne. Inside to McCain. McCain against man. McCain lays it up off the glass and in. And the lead is now 23-16 Brooklyn. 7 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the first half. It's Francomano pushing. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi in the corner. D'Ambrosi back to Francomano. Francomano out top. Watched by Daryl Sario. Francomano setting up the offense. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi guarded by Lightbourne. D'Ambrosi dribbles back to Francomano. Francomano drives to the foul line to D'Ambrosi. 7 on the shot clock. D'Ambrosi, Megan Campbell shoots. Off the back rim, no good. Francomano, the offensive rebound, back to Campbell. Has it stolen away by Navarro. Navarro pushing the ball up court. Navarro to Daryl Sario. Daryl Sario driving on D'Ambrosi. Missed the layup. Rebounded by Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball. Francomano has 4 Lehman players back in the corner. D'Ambrosi, a corner 3. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by McCain. McCain to Daryl Sario. Daryl Sario slows down this fast-paced offense.
Yeah, trying to get the Bulldogs are doing a lot of transition right now, so they're trying to get their offense set up.
Navarro at the right wing. Inside to Walker. Walker guarded by Megan Campbell. We have a traveling violation on Karen Walker.
Yeah, she picked up the ball, then tried taking an extra little jump there. That was one you had to call.
As we have a substitution, Gabby Elaine and Asia Foster will check back into this ball game, as would Jacqueline Grasso. As Grasso sets up the offense. Grasso's in for Francomano. Grasso watched by Daryl Sario. Grasso at the right wing to Karen Mack. Karen Mack guarded by Navarro. Karen Mack drives to the foul line. Inside to Elaine. Missed the layup. Foster lost it. McCain comes up with it. Daryl Sario pushing the ball up court. Guarded by Karen Mack. Daryl Sario on top. It's stolen away by Karen Mack. Karen Mack pushing against Daryl Sario. To Elaine. That was Foster. Foster missing the layup. Elaine gets the rebound. Elaine has it stolen away by Lightbourne to Daryl Sario. Daryl Sario pushing it up court. Daryl Sario to Navarro. Navarro guarded by Grasso. Drives baseline, lays it up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound fought for. And it will go over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs.
D'Ambrosi did a great job of help defense right there. Really took away the lane and forced Navarro to change her shot, which helped the Bulldogs get the ball back.
As Yarmish Jones will check back into the ball game for Linda McCain. 23-16 Brooklyn, 5 minutes, 21 seconds to go here in the first half as Jacqueline Grasso will set up the offense right here. Grasso guarded by Daryl Rosario. Grasso out top. Grasso gets it to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi guarded by Lightbourne. D'Ambrosi to Karen Mack. Karen Mack guarded by Navarro. Karen Mack to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso guarded by Daryl Rosario. Gets a high pick from Foster. Grasso drives to the foul line. Off the glass, blocked by Daryl Rosario. Fight for the rebound, and Daryl Rosario comes up with it, pushing the ball. Daryl Rosario goes behind her back, drives to the foul line. Gets it to Navarro. Navarro guarded by Karen Mack. Navarro out top. Back to Daryl Rosario. Daryl Rosario guarded by Jacqueline Grasso. To Amani Lightbourne. To Yarmish Jones. Yarmish Jones drives inside to Karen Walker, who lays it up and in, and the lead is now 5 as Lehman has stormed back. And Coach Alex Lang wants a timeout as Lehman only trails 23-18 with 4.5 to go here in the first half.
That was exactly what we were talking about. They took the help defense off of Karen Walker. That freed her up right open underneath the basket, and that is something that the Bulldogs have to pay attention to, because if she's got the ball wide open underneath the basket, she's going to put it in. She's going to take advantage of it.
Yeah, the Bulldogs, they've slowed down a little bit. Lehman's done a little better job getting back in transition as well, as Lehman is on a 12-3 run. They fell behind 20-6 early in this ball game.
And you can see Lehman slowly but surely chipping away at this lead, and the way they're doing it is executing in the half court.
Yes.
Because they realize Brooklyn's trying to run a little bit more, so they're slowing it down, trying to keep it at their pace, and they've done a pretty good job. Like I said, they're not trying to get the lead now. They're slowly but surely chipping away at it, which is what you want to see out of a team that fell behind so big early on.
Yeah, it's really important to just stay within striking distance when you fall behind by a big margin early on. As D'Ambrosi will inbound the basketball. As they switch sidelines, D'Ambrosi will inbound it at the right sideline instead of the left sideline. Rosie inbounds to Francomano. Francomano watched by Del Rosario. Francomano out top. Gets it to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Asia Foster out top to Jacqueline Grasso, inside to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell inside, fakes, lays it up. No, but she is fouled by Yarmish Jones. Good inside move by Megan Campbell.
It's a good inside move, and you notice Jennifer Navarro helping down. Even though Megan Campbell hasn't scored much these last couple games, they understand that she is a threat every time she touches the ball to score. So Navarro did a pretty good job of helping down, but Megan did an even better job of creating a shot for herself.
And she'll get 2 free throws. Campbell gets set. First free throw is up and good. 24-18 Brooklyn. As there's a substitution for Lehman, Linda McCain will check in for Yarmish Jones. As Megan Campbell gets set for the second free throw. Takes one dribble. Free throw is up and good. Brooklyn leads 25-18. 4 minutes, 14 seconds to go here in the first half. Emily Del Rosario sets up the offense. Del Rosario, guarded by Francomano. To Jennifer Navarro. Jennifer Navarro back to Del Rosario. Del Rosario to Karen Walker. Karen Walker looking inside. Dribbles to Del Rosario. Loses it off her leg. Out of bounds. The ball go over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs.
And that was created by Francomano, doing a good job of defense, even though it looked like a simple handoff. Got her hand in there, bounced off the foot, and that gave the Bulldogs the ball back.
Francomano sets up the offense. Francomano guarded by Del Rosario. Francomano to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso to Asia Foster at the top of the key. To D'Ambrosi. Inside to Megan Campbell. Campbell picks up her dribble. Back to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi out top to Nicole Francomano. 11 on the shot clock. Francomano crosses over to her left. Inside off the glass. No. Rebounded. Knocked out of bounds. And the ball go over to the Lehman Lightning.
Would have liked to seen Francomano maybe dish that off to Asian Foster, because the double came over and she had her wide open, but she missed it. But, you can't always see that sometimes.
As Del Rosario set up the offense. 25-18 Brooklyn. 3:24 to go here in the first half. To Karen Walker. Back to Del Rosario. To Navarro. Navarro to Del Rosario. Shoots a three. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Nicole Francomano. Francomano once again pushing. Gets it inside to Foster. Foster has a mismatch. Lays it up. No. Rebounded by Megan Campbell. Campbell puts it up. It's up and in. And Brooklyn now leads 27-18. 3 minutes to go here in the first half. A second chance basket. Out top is Amani Lightbourne. back to Karen Walker out top. Hands it off to Emily De Rosario. De Rosario inside to McCain, losing it, gets it back, forcing it up, stuffed by D'Ambrosi. We have a double dribble on Linda McCain. The ball go right back over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs. We have a substitution. Madrigal will check in for Jennifer Navarro, and Mann will check in for Asia Foster. 27-18 Brooklyn, 2:46 to go here in the first half.
Brooklyn's been kind of getting on a little bit of a run here. You'd like to see them finish this first half strong.
As Francomano sets up the offense, guarded by Emily De Rosario. Francomano out top to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi spins inside, lays it up off the glass. No, Mann tries to go for the rebound, lost it out of bounds, and the ball go right back over to the Lehman Lightning. Karen Walker to inbounds to De Rosario. 27-18 Brooklyn, 2.5 to go in the first half. De Rosario goes behind her back, guarded by Francomano to Karen Walker to Linda McCain. Linda McCain out top, guarded by Mann. McCain to number 13, Lightborn, back to De Rosario. 15 seconds on the shot clock. De Rosario looking inside to Lightborn. Lightborn lays it up and in. Good strong move by her, and the lead is now 27-20 Brooklyn. As Francomano pushes the ball up court, guarded by Emily De Rosario. Francomano driving inside to Campbell. No, blocked. There might have been a foul call. No call. De Rosario pushing, lost the ball. Lightborn gets it back to De Rosario. De Rosario driving inside, lays it up off the glass. No, rebounded by Megan Campbell. Campbell up the court to Francomano, stolen away by De Rosario. Lehman will get it back, slow down this offense. De Rosario out top to Karen Walker. Inside to McCain. We have a traveling violation, an easy call as the ball go right back over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs.
You know, normally you don't see a 5'5" girl go up against Megan Campbell and get a block. Megan also looks like since that play, she was a little frustrated because she was expecting a call. She's got to settle down. She's got to play within her game.
Francomano sets up the offense, guarded by Emily De Rosario. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell to Jacqueline Grasso. Grasso back to Francomano, knocked out of bounds, or no, knocked away. Francomano comes up with it. 10 on the shot clock, 8 on the shot clock. Francomano drives, has it knocked away, stolen away by Linda McCain. Linda McCain pushing, stops at the foul line as Brooklyn College gets back on defense. McCain gets it to De Rosario. De Rosario to Amani Lightborn in the corner for three, no good. Rebounded by Amani Lightborn, gets her own rebound. Inside to Madrigal, who lays it up and in, and the lead is now 27-22 Brooklyn, 47 seconds to go here in the first half. Francomano setting up the offense. They settle down a little bit. Francomano guarded by De Rosario. Francomano out top, in the corner to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi guarded by Lightborn. Back to Francomano. Francomano to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso to the foul line. Lays it up, blocked out of bounds by Madrigal. Brooklyn College will get it back with 9 seconds on the shot clock, 27 seconds on the game clock. So you have a substitution. Karen Mack and Asia Foster will check in for Mann and D'Ambrosi. With 9 on the shot clock, 27 seconds to go here on the game clock.
Starting to see more of that defense from Lehman that we expected in forcing turnovers.
Inbound to Megan Campbell. Foul line jumper is nothing but the bottom of the net. Brooklyn leads 29-22 with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. Lehman will most likely hold for the final shot with no shot clock. De Rosario setting up the offense, guarded by Francomano, 13 to shoot. De Rosario still setting, still dribbling the basketball. Drives to the foul line, inside to Madrigal, missed the layup. Brooklyn comes up with it, Francomano pushing 2 seconds, 1 second for three, way off, and that ends our first half with Brooklyn College leading 29-22. Lehman chipped away a little bit after Brooklyn started off with a 20-6 lead, and it should be a very interesting second half.
Should be a good one.
As we will take a break here at our halftime report. I'm Adam Lockley, my broadcast partner, Brock Myers. We will take a halftime break right now.
Sex and Politics Radio, 6 p.m. Friday nights. For all the news and art in your world, tune Tune in to get turned on to the universe around you. Keep your dial smiling at 1090 AM radio or mywbcr.com.
Hey Brian, how was your vacation?
It was horrible for us. Every day that passed was a day closer to Derek Jeter's retirement.
True, but there's still so much to look forward to this season. NFL, basketball, hockey, Premier League.
It isn't the same without Derek.
Hey, there may not be another season of Derek Jeter, but...
Yeah?
Nah, I've got nothing. Tune into Heats and Ace Radio every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. on 1090 a.m. and mywbcr.com.
How could you leave me, Derek?
Hello, Brooklyn College. Tune in every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. for Jammin' on the One, hosted by me, yours truly, Steve Muth, SPM1, and my co-host, Melissa Gabriel, for a full hour of infectious grooves, the sensual jams of the hour, and urban vibes to your eardrums. Listen to an eclectic blend of jazz of all styles, R&B, quiet storm, fusion, funk, old soul, neo soul, electric blues, the golden age of hip-hop, and much, much more. Stay tuned.
Yo, Tone, get it together, man.
Hype, come on, hype.
Hey, what's up? This is Tone.
And Juice.
And Sugar Free.
And we got this radio show that we broadcast every Saturday from 1 to 2 p.m. right here at Brooklyn College.
We are the weekend's pregame to your pregame.
And we'll bring you the latest celebrity gossip, the latest sports news, and everything else in between.
I know that's right.
Don't forget to check us out online at www.tgifradioshow.com.
Listen on your computer by logging on to www.mywbcr.com.
Let's go.
It is halftime now. Brooklyn College Bulldogs leading the Lehman Lightning 29-22. Brooklyn got off to a fast start, leading 20-6 in the early moments. Lehman then went on a 12-3 run, and now they trail by just 7 points as they chipped away little by little in spite of shooting just 9 out of 33 from the field in the first half.
And I mean, the big key right now for Lehman College is the fact that their leading scorer, Jennifer Navarro, 0 points right now, and she's only attempted 2 shots and only 1 behind the line.
Exactly.
So Brooklyn is doing their job and really trying to take her out of the offense.
Emily Del Rosario, I think she's taking too many shots. She's 1 out of 13 from the field.
Yeah.
And she's being a little too selfish with the basketball.
Well, 1 out of 13, but again, that's because Brooklyn is taking out Navarro.
Yes.
And Del Rosario's trying to create a spark. The problem is, it is just not there. What they need to do is, it seems like their leading scorer right now is Karen Walker.
Yeah, Karen Walker, perfect from the field, 4 out of 4. She has 9 points. And for Brooklyn, it seems as if Megan Campbell picked up right where she left off last year against Lehman. She has 12 points and 7 rebounds here in the first half. D'Ambrosi, as you probably heard, the 2 early three-pointers. She's 2 of 5 from the three-point line. She has taken all of Brooklyn College's three-point attempts so far.
And, Megan Campbell looks like she's getting back in that mode that we thought she was going to be in this year. She's cooled down the last couple games, but she's getting right back to where she should. And she's doing a really good job in this 2-3 zone that Lehman has been playing.
Yeah.
She's getting in the right spots, and when the shot's there, she's taking it. When it's not, she's dishing it off. So, again, we talked about that, how even when she's not scoring, she's still effective. And she's playing the game that she should, and she's really forcing a lot of defenders to crack down on her. And I think what may be opening her up lately is the fact that D'Ambrosi is shot so well from the three-point line early on.
Yeah. And the percentages, Brooklyn shooting 33% from the field, 10 out of 30. Lehman shooting 9 out of 33, 27.3%. Brooklyn, as I mentioned, 2 out of 5 from behind the three-point line. As Lehman is 2 out of 9, 22% from the three-point line, just way below their season's average.
Yeah, and Brooklyn's doing a pretty good job defensively. We talked about what they had to do. They're playing that one-on-one defense down low, and they're not giving a lot of opportunities for Lehman to light up the board from behind the three-pointers. And you've seen it.
Yeah.
You've seen Del Rosario, again, who is one of their better three-point shooters. She's only 1 of 13 from the field, 1 of 5 from behind the three.
Yeah.
Navarro's not even getting any looks from behind the three. She's had the one shot that was wide open. She probably should have knocked it down, but they're playing such good defense right now. Lehman is, you can tell, they're not playing the game they thought they would coming into this.
And you mentioned Jennifer Navarro, just 2 shot attempts so far in this game. And we can attribute that to Brooklyn really making this a fast-paced game, not allowing Lehman to set up in their half-court offense, not allowing them to move the ball and get open shots from behind the three-point line for Navarro.
And not only is it taking them out of their game, but it's also forcing Lehman to do a lot of substitutions.
Yeah.
So you're probably not seeing Navarro on the court as much as you would think. They're trying to go quick substitutions, trying to do something to counteract that. But a great job. When Brooklyn has gotten that defensive board, they are really pushing the ball down the floor, also when they're creating the turnovers that they have. So you'd like to see Brooklyn maybe continue on this, but sometimes it seems like they're forcing it a little too much.
Yeah.
And that's kind of how Lehman's been able to get back at this. Yeah. They're forcing it a little too much.
Yeah.
Brooklyn not really trusting their half-court offense, which has still been effective. So you'd like to see them get a little bit more of that done.
And we also see on a couple of occasions, speaking of forcing it, I saw Del Rosario trying to force it on plays where she really didn't have numbers on a couple of occasions, in particularly against Megan Campbell at 6'1", trying to challenge her at the basket, and it's forced some pretty difficult shots for her off the glass, and you got to really pull it out and be unselfish when you don't really have numbers.
Yeah, Del Rosario seems like she's doing a little too much. Probably an adjustment you're going to see Lehman make. She's probably going to hear about that in the locker room here during this halftime break, that, you're forcing this.
Yeah.
Let the game come to you. You're throwing up too many shots. She's trying to go down low. That's one of the reasons her field goal percentage is 1 of 13. Because she's going down low. She's trying to go up on Megan Campbell. She's trying to go up on Asia Foster. When you're 5'5" Del Rosario, you're not going to win that battle.
You're not.
And what she's got to be able to do is she's got to look for Karen Walker down low. She's got to look for Linda McKeon when she's in the game, because that's how Lehman's going to get back in this game.
Right now, Brooklyn not just dominating on the boards, they lead Lehman in rebounding 29-16, but also on the offensive glass. Brooklyn with 10 offensive rebounds to Lehman's 5 offensive rebounds.
And the thing is, not only does Brooklyn have 10 offensive rebounds, Lehman has 11 defensive. That means they're about splitting when Brooklyn College is missing the shot. So that's a big key of getting those second chance baskets, because Lehman not really hitting the glass like you would think they should. And, I mean, Karen Walker, who is their leading rebounder on the season, only has 2 so far, and both of those were defensive.
Right now, Brooklyn with more turnovers. They have 14 turnovers to Lehman's 9, but of course, we would attribute that to the way they're playing, pushing the ball every time they have the chance. Nicole Francomano with 5 turnovers, but at the same time, I do like their aggressiveness.
You got to like the aggressiveness, and you got to think a lot of those turnovers that probably came late in the first half, because that was when I think there was a timeout, and Lehman really got their team together and said, guys, we're not doing what we do. And you started seeing them playing a little more aggressive defensively, and that's really when the turnovers started coming for Brooklyn. Now you'd like to see them maybe when you got an opportunity. I remember there was a play, Brooklyn got an offensive rebound, and Francomano brought it back out and tried forcing it again. That was a time when you would have liked to see her slow down, reset the offense. Brooklyn's half-court offense is working. It has been effective. So much in the same way we talked about Del Rosario's forcing it a little bit too much. Francomano, I mean, I like how she's playing, but she's got to know when she has numbers and when she does it and when she needs to bring it out and set up the half-court offense.
Right now, I see statistically Brooklyn doing a pretty good job defending without fouling. As we mentioned, Lehman shooting 27% from the field, and at the same time, just 2 foul shot attempts.
Yeah, so Brooklyn's being smart. I think they had an offensive foul early on, but they are being smart defensively. They're not doing too many stupid things of getting Lehman to the line. Lehman's tried at times, but Brooklyn's being smart. And again, I think part of that is you're seeing that a lot of that one-on-one defense down low, and they're doing a good job of getting in position and just hands up, not trying to swat after the ball, not trying to hit the arm down. So they're being smart defensively. They need to continue that.
You're listening to my WBCR 1090 AM via Spreaker. I'm Adam Lockley with my broadcast partner Brock Myers. And we will take a break right here as we get ready for the second half a little later.
Hello, Brooklyn College. Tune in every Thursday from 5 to 6 p.m. for Jammin' on the One, hosted by me, yours truly, Steve Muth, SPM1, and my co-host, Melissa Gabriel, for a full hour of infectious grooves, the sensual jams of the hour, and urban vibes to your eardrums. Listen to an eclectic blend of jazz of all styles, R&B, quiet storm, fusion, funk, old soul, neo soul, electric blues, the golden age of hip hop, and much, much more. Stay tuned.
Years ago, we talked to Tom Moore, then at Indianapolis, the offensive coordinator. You got a busted play here, and then Sanchez gets hit. The ball is loose, and it's alive. And then going into the end zone is Steve Gregory, who's had an interception, 2 fumble recoveries.
One. Damn, now that was hilarious. Don't you wish there was a show which highlights the Pats and the Jets?
Chris, there is.
What?
Yeah, it's called The Patriot Hour on Brooklyn College Radio, WBCR, where they praise the Pats and ridicule the Jets at any time. But they also cover the NFL and NBA.
Wait, no baseball or hockey?
No, that's funny. No, this show is strictly for football and basketball coverage. Baseball is America's pastime and shall remain in the past. So with that, everyone should listen to The Patriot Hour every Wednesday from 8:30 to 10 p.m. for your most up-to-date sports news.
What's going on, everybody? This is your man, DJ Turk, reminding everyone that the only place to hear dope music and entertaining discussions, as well as the only place to hear the best up-and-coming musicians, artists, poets, anything having to do with the Brooklyn art scene, is right here on Brooklyn Renaissance Radio. Every Monday, 5 to 6 p.m., only on my WBCR radio. Live royal, y'all.
About a minute and a half. Just joining us, Brooklyn jumped out to a 20-6 lead. Lehman then chipped away with a 12-3 run, and now the lead is just 7 to Brooklyn College. And what do you think both coaches' strategies are going into the second half?
I think the big thing is Brooklyn is probably hoping to get the momentum back now that there's been this break at halftime, because Lehman started getting it back little by little. I think defensively, Lehman's probably telling them, guys, we've got to create more turnovers. We got to do what we do because we're not right now. Also, we got to execute a little bit better offensively, because really, Lehman's kind of struggled with that. 22 points right now, that's on pace for only 44. This is a team that averages almost 70 points a game. Mm-hmm. And offensively, they just have not done what they're supposed to do. For Brooklyn, you would like to say, keep pushing the ball, but we got to be smarter. We've got to realize that when the fast break's not open, pull it out, and let's slow down, and let's give Megan Campbell a chance to really execute in that half-court offense, because that's what she does best. Yeah. And if they're going to zone Brooklyn, let Megan make the plays in that zone, because she can do that, and she showed she can do that. So I would probably see them, you might see a little bit more Megan Campbell kind of focusing on that, and if they collapse, kick it out to D'Ambrosi. When she's open, she can knock down shots, and that's what she's got to do. She's got to mic down the shots, but when she's got it, she knocked down her first 2. She's 0 for 3 cents on three-pointers. She's got to be smarter with that.
Yes, as you mentioned, Brooklyn has to be a little more intelligent when it comes to pushing the basketball, when to push and when not to push, knowing when you have numbers and when you don't have numbers. And that kind of goes for both teams as well. As we mentioned, Emily Del Rosario, 4 turnovers in the first half. She has 4 of Lehman's, 9 turnovers so far as we get ready to start the second half here.
And it looks like we're going to get pretty much the same starting lineups as we had to for the game. It's going to start the second half. Lehman's going to start with the ball. look to see what they're going to do here, see if they can create some opportunities for Navarro, because she has not had many opportunities so far.
Lightborn inbounds to Emily De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Francomano, back to Lightborn. Lightborn to Karen Walker. Karen Walker to De Rosario, guarded by Francomano. Francomano to Navarro, takes one dribble to Lightborn, knocked away, stolen away by Francomano. Francomano pushing the ball up court. Francomano stops at the foul line. Outside to Asia Foster, back to Francomano. Francomano guarded by Emily De Rosario out top. Francomano setting up this offense. Crosses over to her left. Stops. Outside to Karen Mack. Karen Mack to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell driving inside. Up and in. And Brooklyn now leads 31-22. De Rosario setting up the offense. Guarded by Francomano. To Amani Lightborn. Amani Lightborn to Navarro. Navarro driving inside. Off the glass. No. Gets her own rebound. Tapped out to Lightborn. Back to Walker. To De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Francomano. De Rosario inside to Walker, and it's out of bounds. The ball go right back over to Lehman as they're off to a slow start this half already. Inbounds pass goes to Francomano. Francomano approaching the midcourt logo. 31-22 Brooklyn. We played a minute in the second half. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Foster. Foster to Karen Mack. Mack looking inside. Looking 15 on the shot clock. Mack drives inside. Stops at the foul line. To Francomano. Francomano guarded by De Rosario. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Francomano crosses over to the foul line. 5 on the shot clock. Forces it up off the glass. No good. Rebounded by De Rosario. De Rosario goes behind her back. Up the court to number 11. Majiko lays it up and in. Now it's Yarmish Jones. My mistake. And Brooklyn now leads 31-24. Francomano pushing it up the court. Inside to Asia Foster. Asia Foster off the glass and in. Good position by Asia Foster as Brooklyn now leads 33-24 early here in the second half. Up the court to Karen Walker. Karen Walker knocks over Asia Foster, and we have an offensive foul on Lehman. Offensive foul on Lehman as Asia Foster a little slow to get up, and now she's helped up by her teammate.
Yeah, she might have caught an elbow, it looks like, in the face. But really good positioning, realizing she saw early on what Walker was looking to do, and she got just outside of the that neutral zone, and Walker bringing her arm up caught her a little bit on the face. So hopefully Asia Foster looked like she's shaking it off. She'll be all right.
Substitution for Brooklyn. Gabby Elaine will check in for Megan Campbell. Francomano setting up the offense. Guarded by De Rosario to Karen Mack. Karen Mack out top, looking. Gets to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi at the left wing. D'Ambrosi inside to a wide open Asia Foster. Didn't realize where she was. Missed the layup. And coming up with it is Karen Walker. Karen Walker to Yarmish Jones. Yarmish Jones wide open, pushing it up the court. Lays it up. Off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Asia Foster. And we have a foul on, I believe, Yarmish Jones. No, it's on Navarro, actually. Jennifer Navarro.
Gave it to Navarro. Probably should have been Jones. Either they were both there trying to pull the ball away.
Inbounds pass to Francomano. 33-24 Brooklyn. 17 minutes, 35 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano out top, guarded by De Rosario to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi guarded by Lightborn. D'Ambrosi still looking. D'Ambrosi starts her dribble. D'Ambrosi dribbling out top, shoots a three. Off the side rim, no good. Rebounded by Yarmish Jones. Yarmish Jones to Amani Lightborn. Amani Lightborn to Karen Walker at the left wing, guarded by Gabby Elaine. Stolen away by Elaine. And we have a foul on Karen Walker. Good defense by Gabby Elaine. And we have a timeout for Lehman.
As much as you don't want to see a foul, that was actually probably the smart play by Karen Walker, because if she doesn't foul, Brooklyn had a transition opportunity that would have been wide open. So by fouling, that actually slows them down, takes away that open layup that they could have had. So Walker's a little frustrated with the foul call, but in all reality, probably was the best thing for Lehman, taking away the opportunity to get out in transition for Brooklyn.
Yes, very good fouls, stopping an easy basket as Brooklyn leads 33-24. 17 minutes, 10 seconds to go here in the second half as the Lady Bulldogs get set to break their huddle.
And, you know, the Bulldogs are really doing what we talked about, what they needed to do. They're getting out in transition when they need to, when it's open, and they're slowing down when it's smart, and that's how they've gotten back to this big lead.
It's Karen Max inbounds to Nicole Francomano. Nicole Francomano guarded by Del Rosario. Francomano crosses over to the foul line. posting up, driving inside. No, might have been fouled. The ball knocked out of bounds. It'll be Brooklyn ball. 22 seconds on the shot clock.
Now, it looked pretty clean from here, but Francomano, of course, wanting a foul because you get to the line, but looked pretty clean from my angle.
We have a substitution as Karen Walker and Jennifer Navarro, their 2 stars, will get a rest. Bang the ball is Karen Mack. Karen Mack's inbounds to Aisha Foster at the foul line. Foster to Nicole Francomano. Mack from the corner to long 2, no good. Rebounded by Yarmiche Jones. Jones to Emily De Rosario. De Rosario out top. Guarded by Francomano, driving inside. Blocked out of bounds by, I believe, Gabby Elaine. It'll be Lehman ball with 23 seconds on the shot clock. Inbounds pass goes to McCain. McCain back to De Rosario. De Rosario to Lightbourne, back to De Rosario. De Rosario guarded by Francomano to Linda McCain. Linda McCain has it stolen away by Karen Mack. Karen Mack has it stolen back, but getting back by Gabby Elaine. Gabby Elaine to Nicole Francomano. Francomano to the foul line. Stops, pulls it back. Francomano inside to Gabby Elaine, to D'Ambrosi, to Nicole Francomano. Nicole Francomano to Gabby Elaine. Elaine drives inside, layup is up and in, and Brooklyn now leads 35-24, back up by double digits. As De Rosario sets up the offense. De Rosario to McCain. McCain guarded by Elaine. McCain at the right wing. Picks up her dribble. McCain in trouble. To stolen away by Aisha Foster. And fight for the rebound. And now Francomano comes up with the ball. Francomano pushing up the court. Francomano to the foul line. Driving inside. Blocked out of bounds but fouled by Majnikol. And Francomano will get 2 free throws. 35-24 Brooklyn. 15 minutes, 52 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano will get 2 foul shots.
And Brooklyn's doing a really good job right now of forcing turnovers. Karen Mack a couple times gotten her hands on the ball to knock it loose and getting these transition opportunities, and they're taking advantage right now.
Francomano gets set for 2 free throws. Takes a couple dribbles. Free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. We have a substitution as Sarah Shanderson and Megan Campbell will check in for Asia Foster and Karen Mack. And Tiffany Ruiz will check in for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. And
Walker and Navarro are both going back in for Lehman. So again, when they're taken out, they're getting very small rest times because they've got to get them back on the floor.
Francomano, second free throw is up. Off the front rim and in. Brooklyn now leads 36-24. Back up by 12. 15 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the second half. Emily De Rosario, guarded by Nicole Francomano. De Rosario to Jennifer Navarro, guarded closely by Shanderson. De Rosario drives baseline, back to Navarro. Navarro guarded by Francomano to Yarmiche Jones, knocked away, but Walker comes up with it and lays it up and in, and the lead is now 36-26 Brooklyn with 15 minutes and 30 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano pushing in the corner to Sarah Shanderson. And we have, I believe it was...
I think they're going to be calling this on Francomano that she kind of pushed after she let the ball go.
So an offensive foul on Nicole Francomano as Lehman will get the ball back.
Actually, no. It looks like they called it on Megan Campbell. So it must have been down low trying to get position. Looks like they got her for that.
So it was a foul away from the play.
Nope. Now
they change it back.
Now they
to
change it
Francomano.
back. Yeah. I think he reported 22, but he meant 23. So, yeah, it's going to be the situation where Francomano, after she passed the ball away, kind of pushed off the defender, and they got her on that.
As De Rosario gives the ball to Lightbourne. Lightbourne driving, floats it up. No, but we have a foul on the ground.
It's going to be on Megan Campbell.
On number 13, Tiffany Ruiz. As Asia Foster will check back in for Gabby Elaine. It will be a side out for Lehman. Navarro to inbound. Navarro inbounds to Yarmiche Jones. Knocked away, gets it back. Yarmiche Jones drives baseline, lays it up off the glass. No. Rebounded by Yarmiche Jones on the ground. And we have a foul on Brooklyn. Foul will be charged to, I believe, Asia Foster.
Yeah. And again, Brooklyn using that help defense is freeing up the offensive rebounds for Lehman, which is normally how they take advantage of this. But still a 10-point lead for them with about 15 minutes left in the game. Brooklyn still playing well defensively, though.
As Gabby Elaine will check back in for Asia Foster. Inbound goes to Walker. Walker the jumper. It's good. And the lead is right back down to 8. 2 straight baskets for Lehman. Inbounds pass goes to Francomano. Francomano out top. 36-28 Brooklyn. 14 minutes, 55 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano setting up the offense to Tiffany Ruiz. Ruiz to Gabby Elaine. Gabby Elaine to Sarah Shanderson. Sarah Shanderson gives it to Francomano outside. Francomano inside to Elaine, lays it up, no good. Rebound, Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell has it knocked out of bounds by... No, it's actually go over to the Lehman Lightning as Megan Campbell lost it out of bounds.
Well, Del Rosario knocked it down and it went off of Megan Campbell's foot.
Well, Del Rosario setting up the offense. Del Rosario guarded by Francomano out top. Del Rosario gets it to Navarro. Navarro guarded closely by Shanderson. Navarro, they have a foul on the ground. Foul is on number 11, Sarah Shanderson. As Vanessa D'Ambrosio will check back in for Tiffany Ruiz. 36-28 Brooklyn, 14 minutes, 26 seconds to go here in the second half. Inbounds pass goes to Jones. Jones missed the layup. Rebounded by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi pushing the ball up court. D'Ambrosi at the left wing. D'Ambrosi inside to Megan Campbell. To Francomano, foul line jumper is up and good. Brooklyn now leads 38-28. Give the assist to Megan Campbell. As Del Rosario sets up the offense. Del Rosario guarded by Nicole Francomano. Del Rosario driving inside, lays it up and in as she caught Brooklyn College sleeping. 38-30 Brooklyn. Nicole Francomano pushing. Francomano stops at the left wing, guarded closely by Del Rosario. Francomano at the midcourt logo. Francomano, and we have a foul.
They're going to call that on Del Rosario.
Foul's on Del Rosario.
Nope.
No,
they called that
on Gabby Elaine.
Yeah, that screen was a little too aggressive, even though Del Rosario was up there playing some tough defense. As soon as I saw that happen, I knew she kind of had her legs spread a little too wide, and that's what caused the foul.
Jacqueline Grasso and Karen Mack check in for Brooklyn College as number 13 out top is number 21, Del Rosario driving inside against Megan Campbell off the side rim, no good. Rebound Megan Campbell. Campbell, we have a possession arrow, and it'll stay right here with Lehman College.
No, that's going to Brooklyn.
No, it's going to Brooklyn, actually.
And again, that's what Del Rosario is doing a lot. When Brooklyn College is getting rebounds, she's trying to get her hands in there and try to knock the ball loose a little bit. They've gotten some turnovers off of that. Hasn't been as successful as you like. It seems like they're getting more fouls than causing turnovers.
As Jacqueline Grasso sets up the offense, she dribbles into the midcourt logo. Goes to her left to Vanessa D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Asia Foster out top to Karen Mack. Karen Mack guarded by Navarro. Inside to Megan Campbell. Turnaround jumper off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Karen Walker. Karen Walker to Del Rosario. She slowly sets up the offense. Del Rosario guarded by Karen Mack as she approaches the midcourt logo. Del Rosario to Navarro. Navarro out to number 13, Lightbourne. Lightbourne, we have an offensive foul as Asia Foster drew the charge. Good job by Asia Foster sacrificing her body.
Asia Foster's done that a couple times this game, as she's getting in the best position to take those charges, and it's really done a good job of creating some turnovers.
Jacqueline Grasso at the midcourt logo, guarded by Del Rosario to Karen Mack. Karen Mack guarded by Jennifer Navarro, 20 on the shot clock. Karen Mack to D'Ambrosi. A left wing three is good. D'Ambrosi hits yet another three-pointer, her third of this game. Brooklyn now leads 41-30, 12 and a half to go here in the second half. Del Rosario out top, guarded by Karen Mack to Karen Walker. Back to Del Rosario, watched closely by Karen Mack at the Brooklyn College midcourt logo. Del Rosario driving, pulls up for a jumper off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Jacqueline Grasso. Grasso pushing the ball up court. Jacqueline Grasso stops. Stopped by Del Rosario. We have a foul on Del Rosario. Go ahead.
Well, it seems like Lehman is right now. These look like frustration fouls right now.
Yeah.
They're playing a little aggressively, and even Lehman's coach Eric Harrison, he was in the ear of the referee, claiming that last three-pointer was an assist on him on that charging call.
Inbounds pass goes to Asia Foster. Foster gets the ball to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso out top. Drives to the right wing. Inside to a wide open Gabby Elaine, who lays it up and in. And the lead has gone right back up to 13 points for Brooklyn. 11 minutes, 53 seconds to go here in the second half. 43-30, Brooklyn College. Del Rosario setting up the offense. Gets it to Navarro. Navarro Goes inside to Karen Walker. Karen Walker against Megan Campbell. Blocked, but a foul. And Karen Walker will get 2 free throws.
Megan Campbell's not happy with the call, but I don't think they got it on the block. They're saying with the body she was forcing it a little bit too much. Karen Walker seemed to be a little out of control, but it was enough to draw the foul and enough to slow down this game, maybe try to Brooklyn right now has a lot of momentum that they're feeding off of right now.
As Karen Walker will get 2 foul shots. First free throw is up. Off the side rim, no good. We have a substitution as Nicole Francomano will check back in for Jacqueline Grasso. As Karen Walker takes 3 dribbles. Free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell to Nicole Francomano, once again pushing. Francomano inside to Gabby Elaine. Gabby Elaine back out to Francomano, fakes a 3. Pull-up jumper. In and out, no good. Rebounded by Karen Walker. Karen Walker to Daryl Rosario. Daryl Rosario pushing up court. Daryl Rosario to Lightbourne. Lightbourne guarded by D'Ambrosi. To Yarmish Jones. Lightbourne, an open jumper. Off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing it up court. Francomano stops. Francomano guarded by Daryl Rosario. 20 seconds on the shot clock. 43-30 Brooklyn. Gives it to Karen Max to the left wing. Karen Max looking. Karen Max gives it to Nicole Francomano. Nicole Francomano guarded by Daryl Rosario. To D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi outside to Megan Campbell. 5 on the shot clock. Floater is up and in. And Brooklyn has ballooned their lead to 15, their largest lead of this game. Daryl Rosario gives the ball to Lightbourne. Lightbourne guarded by D'Ambrosi. Lightbourne to Yarmish Jones. Lays it up and in. And that ends the Brooklyn College run as we now have a timeout. No, we have a timeout. Full timeout.
Yeah, Lehman's going to try to take a timeout here, try to get their team settled up. It looks like I think he's going to try to make some adjustments defensively. They've gone to this one-on-one defense that hasn't really worked so far because this is when Megan Campbell's really starting to show what she can do. She's making great moves on the defenders. She's hitting that runner when she has to.
Yes.
So you wonder if maybe he's going to look to maybe double-team Megan Campbell or maybe go back to a zone, which could free up D'Ambrosi, but she hasn't been as hot recently, so he definitely looks like he wants to make some defensive adjustments right now.
You mentioned Brooklyn now leading 45-32. They, a few moments ago, had their largest lead of the game of 15 points. If you're just joining us, they jumped out to a 20-6 lead. Then Lehman came back, got to as close as 5 points, trailed by 7 at halftime. They finished the first half strong, but then Brooklyn comes back and starts the second half strong as they did the first half.
They really have, and they've done a good job defensively of doing what they're supposed to do, and it's really been nice to see how, and again, we talked about them being smarter on offense. Transition when it's open, bring it out when it's not, and they've done a better job of that, and you might think, now with about 10 and a half minutes left, a 13-point lead, they might start to slow it down a little bit if it's not there.
As D'Ambrosi will inbound the basketball. Inbounds to Francomano. Francomano slowly starts this offense. Guarded by Daryl Rosario. Francomano at the midcourt logo. Francomano out top. Francomano to D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Asia Foster at the top of the key. To Karen Mack. Karen Mack at the right wing to Nicole Francomano. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Francomano, we have a moving screen on Asia Foster. An easy call right there.
Yeah, that's the second time I believe Asia's been caught on that. So she's got to be a little bit smarter. Of course, part of that is when Del Rosario's playing that tough defense, they're calling for that screen, and it's sometimes tough to get in the right position as tight a defense as she's playing.
Del Rosario to McCain. They're going to reset the shot clock. The shot clock did not start, I believe, or the game clock, the reset as well. So right now it says 10 minutes, 1 second. We have a bit of a clock issue right now, a minor issue at this moment. As Gabby Elaine and Sarah Shanderson will check in for Asia Foster and Karen Mack. 45-32 Brooklyn, 10 minutes and 1 second to go here in the second half. As Amani Lightbourne will inbound for Lehman. Lightbourne to Del Rosario. Del Rosario guarded by Francomano. Del Rosario out top. Back to Amani Lightbourne. Inside, knocked away, but Walker gets it back. Blocked by Meccan Campbell, tearing the shot clock. Outside, it goes into the backcourt. We're going to have a backcourt violation on the Lehman Lightning. So it's a turnover for Lehman. And good defense inside by Meccan Campbell to force that turnover.
And also blocking the shot, which forced the turnover because Walker didn't have really good possession. She tried getting out a little too quickly.
Checking into the game it's Yarmish Jones for Majdikol for Lehman. So it'll be a side out for Brooklyn College. Inbounds pass goes to Nicole Francomano. Francomano driving inside to Meccan Campbell. Meccan Campbell, baseline jumper is in. Nice little pick and pop right there between Nicole Francomano and Meccan Campbell. Brooklyn now leads 47-32. 9.5 to go in the second half. Stolen away by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing. Francomano stops. Drives. Outside to D'Ambrosi. A wide open three. Off the back rim, no good. Rebounded by... It's fought for, and it's knocked out of bounds. The ball will stay right here with the Brooklyn College Bulldogs. 9 minutes, 16 seconds to go in the second half. 47-32 Brooklyn. Shanderson inbounds to Francomano. Fakes a three, drives to the foul line, pulls it back out. Guarded right now by Amani Lightbourne. Francomano setting up the offense. Francomano crosses over to her left, losing it, gets it back. Outside to D'Ambrosi. A three blocked by Daryl Sario. Coming up with it is Karen Walker. Up the court to Daryl Sario. This should be a fast break. 2-on-1. Layup off the glass. No good. Rebounded by Sarah Shanderson. Up the court to Francomano. Francomano pushing. Stops at the foul line. Francomano inside to Gabby Elaine. Layup is up. No, but we have a blocking foul on Lehman. So Gabby Elaine will get 2 foul shots.
That is a situation where Lehman needed to finish that fast break. They had exactly what they wanted. And then on the other hand, they commit the foul, didn't exactly get in position and quite fast enough. And now we got a situation where there's 8:45 left. Brooklyn with a 15-point lead. You're going to be interesting to see how Lehman handles this now.
As Gabby Elaine will get 2 free throws. First free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. We have a substitution. Karen Mack will check in for Brooklyn for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. Gabby Elaine gets set for the second free throw. Gabby Elaine, 28 years old. Second free throw is up. And it is good. Brooklyn now leads 48-32. 8:45 to go here in the second half. Daryl Sario setting up the offense. Daryl Sario guarded by Francomano. Daryl Sario out top. Karen Mack gambles as the ball is tied up, and we will stay right here with the Lehman Lightning as Amani Lightbourne got tied up with, I believe it was Francomano. No, it was Karen Mack.
Karen Mack went for a gamble again, but it seemed to work out in the end because she was able to knock it loose.
Inbounds pass goes to Karen Walker out top, guarded by Meccan Campbell. Karen Walker to Amani Lightbourne. Lightbourne guarded by Karen Mack. Lightbourne to number 15, Karen Walker. One dribble to jump ball off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Sarah Shanderson. Shanderson to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing up court. Francomano stops. Inside to Campbell. Inside to Elaine. Elaine lays it up. Off the glass, no. Rebounded by Daryl Sario. Daryl Sario pushing the ball up court. Daryl Sario driving against Meccan Campbell. Lays it up and in. And finally, she succeeds at that.
Yeah, it's been a while. But, eventually one of those are going to come in. And now we got a quick timeout as we're going to see Navarro come back in the game. And again, Navarro just has not been really in this game at all, which has been a total shock.
She has been totally shut down. She hasn't scored yet. Has yet to score. Only taken a couple of shots.
Three shots total she's taken, yeah.
Done a good job taking her out of this basketball game. Brooklyn College has.
And what that has done has forced Del Rosario to try to do too much. And, they're trying to make some adjustments, but it seems like with Brooklyn, they're making smart substitutions. He put in Karen Mack for D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi wasn't too happy, but you could tell that was a defensive substitution because he was trying to make a play happen. Yeah. And sure enough, right off the bat, first possession down, what does Karen Mack do? Goes for a steal, doesn't get it, but comes back and knocks it loose, which forces a jump ball. So that's exactly what they're doing. They're trying to put Karen Mack in situations to make a play defensively, doing what she does well, and it's working out right now because the Bulldogs have a 14-point lead still with only 8 minutes left to go in the game.
As you mentioned, the defense of Brooklyn on Jennifer Navarro is causing Daryl Sario to do so much. 3 out of 19 right now And Lehman, once again, off to a tough start shooting the basketball here in the second half. 6 out of 17 at 35% as Frank Amano will inbound to Megan Campbell, to Karen Mack. Karen Mack, guarded by Lightbourne. Lehman in a bit of a press here.
They're in a press trying to get it out of the hands of Frank Amano.
Karen Mack, guarded by Lightbourne, to Frank Amano. Frank Amano, guarded by Daryl Rosario. Frank Amano driving inside to Gabby Elaine, lays it up. It's good, and she's fouled. Brooklyn now leads 50-34, 7 minutes, 45 seconds to go in the first half. Good penetration and dish by Nicole Francomano.
Francomano making plays happen. We talked about that in the pregame, that she has got to be able to distribute the ball well. She has done that this game. And again, they came out in that press to get the ball out of her hands, and it didn't work so well.
As Gabby Elaine will get one foul shot, free throw is up. And good. Brooklyn now has a new largest lead, 17 points, 7 minutes, and 43 seconds to go here in the second half. Daryl Rosario to Lightbourne. Lightbourne, guarded by Sarah Shanderson, drives to her left, forcing it up, off the rim, no good. Rebounded by Elaine. Elaine to Nicole Francomano. Francomano pushing the basketball. Francomano guarded tightly by Daryl Rosario, and because of it, we have a foul on Emily Daryl Rosario. A little too aggressive on defense.
Yeah, she's trying to make a play happen. She's trying to knock the ball loose. Credit Francomano for putting herself in the right position to not allow it to happen, and drew the foul, and it looks like we got a bonus situation now.
Yeah, it says it'll be a 1-and-1 for Francomano. Francomano, first free throw is up. Free throw is up. Oh, it's an air ball out of bounds. Didn't think I'd see that today, but it'll go over to the Lehman Lightning. 51-34 Brooklyn. 7 minutes, 27 seconds to go here in the second half as Asia Foster will check in for Megan Campbell and D'Ambrosio will check in for Sarah Shanderson. As Karen Walker will inbound the basketball.
We're going to see some press now from the Bulldogs.
Lehman going from right to left as Daryl Rosario is guarded by Karen Mack. Navarro guarded by Francomano. Stolen away by D'Ambrosio. D'Ambrosio comes up with it. D'Ambrosio pushing. Going up, lays it up, no block, but a foul on Daryl Rosario. D'Ambrosio will get 2 foul shots.
And again, Brooklyn creating a turnover, getting out in transition. Daryl Rosario really had no other option on that play. It was either foul or give up the layup, making the smarter play, forcing her to earn the points from the line.
As D'Ambrosio will get 2 foul shots. First free throw is up and good. Brooklyn now leads by 18 points. As Linda McCain will check in for Jennifer Navarro for Lehman. And for Brooklyn, Jacqueline Grasso checks in for Nicole Francomano. She'll get a rest. As D'Ambrosio gets set for the second foul shot. D'Ambrosio, second free throw is up. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by Yarmish Jones to Daryl Rosario. Approaching 7 minutes to go, Brooklyn leads Lehman by 18 points. Daryl Rosario guarded by Karen Mack. Daryl Rosario drives inside, off the glass, no. We have an offensive foul on Emily Daryl Rosario once again.
It was Asia Foster doing the same thing. She's done that 3 times now in this game.
Yes, sacrificing her body 3 times for charges. Good job by her in this game. As Jacqueline Grasso sets up the offense. Jacqueline Grasso guarded by Emily Daryl Rosario to Karen Mack. Karen Mack out top, guarded by Kane. Karen Mack to D'Ambrosio, to Jacqueline Grasso, inside to Gabby Elaine. Elaine fakes, goes up, lays it up, and in a rare post move by Gabby Elaine, and Brooklyn has exploded. They lead by 20 points right now. Daryl Rosario pulls up, has it stripped. It's a fight for the ball with a possession arrow, and the ball go over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs.
And again, Gabby Elaine is really coming out in this second half, and she's really playing well, getting herself shots and putting it in when she has the opportunity. And again, Karen Mack, as we go to a timeout, Karen Mack, we talked about it, creating turnovers, getting that ball loose, got a jump ball. That's one of the reasons why even if the other team has possessions, you want to force a jump ball, because if they get it back, well, the next time down you do that, now you get the ball. And that's what Karen Mack's twice now. She's created a jump ball situation, so now it's a turnover, and the Bulldogs get it with only 6.5 minutes left, and they're up by 20 points in this one.
It's just been such a great game for Brooklyn defensively. As we mentioned at the top of the show, Lehman averaging 69 points per game. They have just 34 points, and there's 6.5 minutes to go in the game. That is amazing defense by Brooklyn. And Jennifer Navarro, as we mentioned during the last break, just 3 shots in this game. Just great defense so far.
And the big thing, too, Brooklyn has forced 21 turnovers.
Yeah.
And Lehman's still almost right at their average. They've forced 18 on Brooklyn College. But the Bulldogs have done an even better job at getting out in transition on that. Some of those turnovers have kind of been back and forth. You see one on each team.
Exactly.
And so Brooklyn's getting it, and they're getting it in more clutch situations.
As Karen Mack inbounds to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso guarded by Amelie Del Rosario. To Karen Mack. Karen Mack to Gabby Lane at the top of the key. To D'Ambrosi at the right wing. Inside to Asia Foster. Asia Foster posting up on Yarmiche Jones. Blocked by Yarmiche Jones. Coming up with it is Yarmiche Jones. Yarmiche Jones pushing up court. Brooklyn gets back to Amelie Del Rosario. Del Rosario pulls it back against Karen Mack. Del Rosario to Amani Lightbourne. Back to Del Rosario. Del Rosario fakes. Del Rosario over the head of Yarmiche Jones, and the ball goes out of bounds. So go right back over to the Brooklyn College Bulldogs. That is 22 turnovers for the Lehman Lightning.
And again, Del Rosario trying to do a little bit too much. I believe that is her 8th turnover just on her own.
Yes, it is. She has 4 each half. As we have a timeout by the Lehman Lightning. Brooklyn leading 54-34. Just under 6 minutes to go here in the second half.
And we talked about the big thing for Brooklyn coming out of the half is that Lehman had gotten on a roll to end that first half, and Brooklyn had to come out and get that momentum back, and they did that early. Since then, Lehman has not been able to get this game back to where they want it to be. Brooklyn has forced them to play the game that Brooklyn wants to play. Lehman now forcing it a little bit too much. They're trying to, everything defensively, and nothing seems to be working. They're trying to full court press to get it out of Francomano's hands. She's still getting it. They're trying to zone didn't work. Man-to-man's not working. So at a certain point, Lehman has got to find something that's going to work defensively, but with only 6 minutes left in the game, you're down 20. Sometimes you just got to start playing the game, and hopefully you get something positive out of this.
Lehman just 12 points in the first 14 minutes and 2 seconds of this half. Brooklyn offensively, Francomano just getting into the teeth of the defense, whether it be in transition or half court, and been some good camaraderie with her and Megan Campbell as we saw a pick and pop once here in the second half. D'Ambrosi inbounds to Nicole Francomano. Francomano slowly setting up this offense as Brooklyn leads by 20 with 5 minutes, 50 seconds to go here in the second half. D'Ambrosi out top, guarded by McCain to Jacqueline Grasso. Jacqueline Grasso inside to Nicole Francomano. So Megan Campbell. Francomano drives baseline to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell floats it up and in, and Brooklyn now leads by 22 points, 5.5 to go here in the second half. Del Rosario out top, guarded by Francomano, goes behind her back to Amani Lightbourne. Back to Del Rosario. Del Rosario to McCain. McCain to Karen Walker. Karen Walker out top, guarded by Megan Campbell. Knocked away, knocked out of bounds by Nicole Francomano. Lehman will get it back with 11 seconds here on the shot clock. As Amani Lightbourne will inbound the basketball as Brooklyn leads by 22 points. Lightbourne to inbound. She inbounds to Yarmiche Jones. Yarmiche Jones watched by Asia Foster. Out top, Yarmiche Jones gives it to, still looking. Gives it to Del Rosario. Nearly a backcourt violation. We have a shot clock violation on Lehman as Brooklyn forces yet another turnover. That's 23 turnovers for Lehman in this game. Inbound pass goes to Nicole Francomano. Nicole Francomano wisely using the clock as Brooklyn leads by 22 points. Just under 5 minutes to go here in the game. Francomano guarded by Amani Lightbourne. Francomano drives to the foul line. Outside to Megan Campbell, driving inside to Asia Foster. Asia Foster to Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell guarded by Yarmiche Jones to Nicole Francomano. 8 on the shot clock. Francomano crosses over, stops, goes out to D'Ambrosi for 3. Air ball, rebounded by Karen Walker. Out to Amelie Del Rosario. Del Rosario pushing it up to Lightbourne, and it's out of her reach, out of bounds, and that's 24 turnovers for the Lehman Lightning as they have completely unraveled here in the second half.
Navarro coming back into the game for Lehman, but she has just been a non-factor so far. This is one of those situations where you look at a team down 22 points and your leading scorer, who's leading the nation in 3 points per game, has not scored yet. Probably a big key in this.
Great job defensively as Francomano is wisely using the clock, has wisely slowed this offense down. Francomano being guarded by Amani Lightbourne. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Crosses over, pulls it back, crosses over inside. Throws it inside, it's out of bounds. and the ball go over to the Lehman Lightning.
Yeah, she was trying to get it down to Asia Foster, but it just wasn't there. Probably should have pulled that one out a little bit. That play just was not there.
As we approach 4 minutes to go, Brooklyn leads Lehman by 22 points. 4 minutes to go here in the second half. Lightbourne picks up her dribble to McCain. McCain to number 11, Yarmish Jones. Yarmish Jones is fouled by, I believe, number 25, Asia Foster. Yeah, it's on Asia Foster, as it's a bit of a touch foul. 2 free throws are coming up for Yarmish Jones.
Now they're in the bonus. It's going to be 1-on-1.
It's going to be a 1-and-1, my mistake. They're in the bonus.
And it looks like that's going to be actually 5 fouls on Asia Foster.
Asia Foster has fouled out of this basketball game.
But, she has done a really good job. I mean, yeah, she's committed 5 fouls, and now she's got to come out. But 3 times she has forced a charge, which is a great job. And, she's done her job offensively. Not a lot of points, but scoring when she needed to. And she's really been active defensively. A good effort for her in this game.
Yarmish Jones gets set. First free throw is up. Off the back rim, no good. Rebound. Megan Campbell up to Nicole Francomano. Francomano still pushing. In the corner to Jacqueline Grasso. In and out, no good. Rebounded, fought for, and Yarmish Jones comes up with it. Up the court to Lightbourne. Lightbourne spins, gives it to McCain. McCain fakes baseline. Baseline jumper is up. Off the front rim, no good. Rebounded by D'Ambrosi. D'Ambrosi to Nicole Francomano. 3.5 to go. And we have a 30-second timeout called by Coach Alex Lang.
Yeah, it looks like he's talking to Jacqueline Grasso. Didn't think that she should have been taking that three-pointer. Yeah. I mean, I was looking at it going, I'm thinking that she's just throwing things up right now with a 20-point lead. But Alex Lang, definitely not happy with that, because even when you've got a 20-point lead, you still want to execute. Yeah. You still got to put yourself in a position to where you're still playing well. You can't just start doing things are crazy, because that's when you get caught. And I mean, not that this game's in any sort of jeopardy, but right now you almost treat this like a practice. You don't want to see your players doing something stupid like that. And you can see right after he called the timeout, he was right at Jacqueline Grasso.
As he wanted Brooklyn to stay focused in this game, not just sit back and relax, as they'll get the ball back with 27 seconds on the shot clock. Brooklyn leading 56-34. 3:25 to go in the game. Francomano, guarded by Amani Lightbourne, crosses over to the foul line, floats it up, in and out, no good. And it's a foul, and over the back on Francomano, I believe. Over the back on Nicole Francomano. Yes, that's the right call.
And I think Lang's telling her right there, you're not going to get that rebound, so don't try to make a stupid foul. So I think that's one of the things Coach Alex Lang's probably going to be frustrated with this, is just the fact that they're kind of not executing as well with this big lead right now.
As it'll be a 1-and-1 for Karen Walker. Free throw is up, no good. Rebound, Karen Walker. Jennifer Navarro takes a jumper, blocked by Jacqueline Grasso, gets her own rebound in the corner to McCain. McCain drives inside, blocked by Megan Campbell, gets her own rebound to Karen Walker, blocked, and a foul on Megan Campbell.
Yeah, that would have been a play that would have been good for Megan to take a charge. She was in a good position. Unfortunately, she brought her hands down, and you got no choice but to call the foul right there. But again, Navarro, I think that's now 4 shot attempts.
Yeah.
And still hasn't put anything in. So still a good job defensively.
It has been, just as a team, a great job defensively, holding them to 34 points, halfway below their average. As Karen Walker, first free throw is up. It's good. And we have a substitution. Karen Mack will check in for Jacqueline Grasso. As Karen Walker will get one more foul shot. Karen Walker, 9 rebounds in this game, or 9 points in this game, I should say. 2 rebounds. Second free throw is up and good, and Brooklyn now leads 56-36. Approaching 3 minutes to go here in the game. Francomano, guarded by Amani Lightbourne for about the 7th consecutive possession. Francomano at the left wing. Francomano drives, pulls it back. 15 seconds on the shot clock. Guarded by Lightbourne, spins to her left. Goes inside to Elaine. Elaine lays it up and in. Good pass, good penetration and dish by Nicole Francomano. As Navarro pushed it up court to Yarmish Jones. Yarmish Jones drives inside, floats it up, no. Rebounded by, it's knocked out of bounds. And it will stay right here with the Lehman Lightning. They'll get a fresh 30-second shot clock with 2.5 to go in the game. We have a substitution. Maya A.G. Thomas will check in for Gabby Elaine.
Good chance to get her in the game, get some game time experience. Something you'd like to see.
Sarah Shanderson will check in for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. 2.5 to go. Brooklyn leads Lehman 58-36. Inbounds pass goes to Yarmish Jones, to Jennifer Navarro, to number 13, Amani Lightbourne, goes up. It's good, and she's fouled. One of the few successful drives for Lehman in this game. And she'll get one foul shot attempt. Will be charged number 22, Megan Campbell, her third personal foul. As Amani Lightbourne will get one free throw attempt. Lightbourne gets set, takes 3 dribbles, free throw is up, and good. And Brooklyn now leads Lehman 58-39. 2 minutes, 20 seconds to go here in the second half. Francomano pushing the ball, guarded by Amani Lightbourne. Francomano picks up a dribble to Karen Mack. Karen Mack crosses over, goes inside, lays it up, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Karen Walker, her third rebound. Karen Walker to Navarro. Navarro pushing it up court. Navarro to Lightbourne. Lightbourne floats it up, off the glass, no good. Rebounded by Karen Mack. Karen Mack to Megan Campbell, wasn't paying attention, she gets it back. Megan Campbell drives inside by herself and lays it in. And Brooklyn now leads 60-39. And we have a timeout by Brooklyn after that layup by Megan Campbell.
It looks like he's going to try to throw in some substitutions, get some people some more playing time. And, I mean, that right there just shows you why Megan Campbell is such a key member. She wasn't even looking. The ball got loose on kind of a bad pass.
Yeah.
She was able to find it, picked it up, but still made a play out of it, realizing she had an opportunity to make just one quick move on Navarro. Then it was one-on-one at the basket and did a great job. And, I mean, what can you say about Megan Campbell right now? She's got 22 points in this game.
Yes.
We talked about how she needed to be big in this game. She needed to get her touches, and she has, and she's made plays, and she's getting back to that form that we thought she was going to be in at the beginning of the season.
I'm Adam Lockley with my broadcast partner, Brock Myers, listening to WBCR 1090 AM via Spreaker, the home of live Bulldog sports. We ask you to stay tuned for the second game of our doubleheader as the men's Bulldogs takes on the men's Lehman Lightning. For the second game of our doubleheader, it will take place right here at the West Quad facility. And Brock Myers will have the call for that game.
It's going to be me and Jonathan Gomez taking on that game.
As we get our stats here, Lehman shooting just 28% from the field. Just a great defensive effort all around for Brooklyn. Jennifer Navarro still with no field goals in this game. She was 0 of 2 at the half, and she is 0 of 2 in the second half, 0 of 4 for the game, 0 of 1 from the three-point line. Only got one clean look, so we got to credit Brooklyn College's defense. Inbounds pass goes to Jennifer Navarro. Navarro to McCain. McCain guarded by Shanderson. McCain at the right wing drives to her left. Inside, lays it up and in as she challenged Maya A.G. Thomas. As we'll have a timeout for Lehman after that basket. We're going to get some more substitutions. Brooklyn leading 60-41. A minute 36 to go here in this game.
Well, I think what Lehman's going to try to do is now that they realize subs are going in for Brooklyn, they might try to change it up defensively and maybe put some pressure on them, see if they can get back in this game a little bit, try to get some better execution because they've got to get something positive out of this game. So I think look for a little change, look for some changes defensively because that's what he looked like he was trying to do.
Yes, what a job by Brooklyn. They had 22 points at the half, only 19 in the second half, and majority of those 19 points have been when the game was pretty much out of reach. So in actuality, they held them to like 8 points here in the second half.
Yeah, it really has been a good job. I mean, just all around defensively, Brooklyn has played really, really well. They have forced 24 turnovers as well as getting 44 rebounds. The rebound advantage has kind of gotten closer here towards the end of the game. As it's gotten on, Lehman's been getting a little bit better, so it's 44-39 with rebounds. But, I mean, you know, Brooklyn did a really great job of getting on the glass and getting the rebounds when they needed to. And as the game's gone on, it's gotten closer, and now trying to see what Lehman might be doing defensively here.
As we get set to resume action, D'Ambrosi to Francomano. Approaching a minute 30 seconds to go. Brooklyn leading Lehman 60-41. Francomano driving on Lightbourne, pulls it back. 17 seconds on the shot clock. Francomano guarded by Lightbourne, drives to the foul line, pulls it back out again to cutting Grasso to Megan Campbell at the sideline, has it knocked away, gets it back, 8 on the shot clock. Campbell floats it up. No, but it's a clear foul on Karen Walker as Megan Campbell will get 2 more foul shots.
Good job drawing the foul right there. And, I mean, Karen Walker wasn't in a really good position.
Yeah.
But a great job by Megan Campbell, again, making a play as she's done all game long.
Campbell will get 2 foul shots. Megan Campbell taking 3 dribbles. First free throw is up, off the front rim and in. And Brooklyn now leads 61-41. 1 minute, 11 seconds to go here in the second half as Tiffany Ruiz will check in for Vanessa D'Ambrosi. And we have a substitution for Lehman. Emily Del Rosario will check in for Jennifer Navarro. 61-41 Brooklyn. 1 minute and 11 seconds to go here in the second half. Megan Campbell, second free throw is up and good. Brooklyn now leads 62-41. 1 minute, 10 seconds to go here in the second half as Del Rosario pushes the basketball, guarded by Francomano. Del Rosario out top, gets a pick from Karen Walker, and the ball goes to Karen Walker mistakenly to Amani Lightbourne. Amani Lightbourne drives in, lays it up off the glass and in, and she's fouled. The foul will be charged to, I believe, Megan Campbell. Checking into this ball game is Majdikol for Linda McCain, as Amani Lightbourne will get 1 foul shot as she drove and was fouled, and she scored. She takes 3 free throws. Free throw is up and in, and the lead is now 62-44. Brooklyn. 53 seconds to go here in this game as Francomano will just slow this down as she approaches the midcourt logo. Guarded by Amani Lightbourne. Drives inside, pulls it back. 19 seconds on the shot clock. 40 seconds to go on the game clock. Brooklyn. Francomano drives to Elaine, has it blocked. Emily Del Rosario comes up with it, pushing it up the court. Pulls up for a long 2 off the front rim, no good off the side rim. And Elaine comes up with it as Brooklyn will most likely dribble the ball out as there is no shot clock. No, it goes up to Campbell. Campbell pulls it back. 20 seconds to go. And we have a foul on Emily Del Rosario. And we have a technical foul as Megan Campbell and Emily Del Rosario had a few words for each other on the baseline.
That's just frustration on the part of Del Rosario. She's got to be smarter than that. You got a game that's in hand. I mean, she's obviously not happy with the way she's played, and probably not the way the team's played as a whole. But a smart play by Megan Campbell when she had the wide open layup, knowing there's no shot clock. She pulled it out, knowing that there's no reason to take that shot. So slowed it down. Del Rosario, of course, drawing the foul, which is what they're trying to do right now. But, yeah, she needs to be smarter than to start drawing some words right there. And give Megan Campbell credit for, little back and forth, but she didn't do anything too crazy.
Yeah, a lot of frustration in this game between Del Rosario, in particularly driving on Campbell as Lehman's coach wants a double technical foul.
Well, and I mean, there was jawing back and forth between both players, but I think they're trying to say that Megan kind of did a little push at first, but that was because they're still tangled and she was just trying to get herself loose.
There was a bit of a small swing of the hand by Megan Campbell, but I think that's just her being tied up by Del Rosario out of frustration as the referees are thinking of what to do here in this situation.
And I think they have made the change. I think they have given Megan Campbell a technical as well.
Campbell will get a free throw with 19 seconds left. Megan Campbell gets set. The free throw is up and good. Brooklyn now leads by 19 points as the first of 2 free throws is good for Megan Campbell, so I guess it was just a technical on Emily Del Rosario. Second free throw is up and good, and Brooklyn goes back up by 20 with 19 seconds remaining here in the game. As we get set for substitutions, there'll be 2 more free throws for Megan Campbell as there was a foul on Emily Del Rosario at that baseline.
Yeah, an initial foul on the play, so she's got to get the bonus free throws for that.
As Campbell gets set for 2 more foul shots. A very good game for her, by the way. First free throw is up and in. And Brooklyn goes back up by 21 as Chrissy Heyer will check in for Nicole Francomano. As Megan Campbell will get 1 more foul shot. Megan Campbell takes 1 dribble. Free throw is up and good. And Brooklyn goes back up by 22 points, 19 seconds to go as Maya H.E. Thomas will check in for Megan Campbell. Megan Campbell getting a much-deserved rest as she played a very good game as there is no shot clock, 15 seconds to go. Amani Lightbourne out top, guarded by Jacqueline Grasso to Karen Walker to Navarro for three. Air ball as it's been that kind of game for her. Fight for the rebound and Jacqueline Grasso comes up with it 3 seconds to go. And for some reason, we have a foul on Lehman. I don't know why they fouled there.
Well, that's been their game plan right here is to go foul. When the last time they were in a timeout, the coach is telling them, go after the ball, foul if you have to.
Yeah.
So, and now it looks like he's actually trying to make the adjustment on Navarro, asking her why she did it. Only 2.9 seconds left.
As she shot another air ball that makes Navarro 0 of 5 in the game. No points as Grasso shoots the first free throw off the back rim, off the front rim, no good. Just a good job defensively on Navarro this evening. As Grasso will get one more foul shot attempt. Free throw is up. And good. 2.9 seconds left. Brooklyn leads 67-44, and that will do it. Brooklyn ending Lehman's 5-game winning streak. Brooklyn improves to a record of 5-3, and now Brooklyn is on a 3-game winning streak. As Brooklyn improves to 5-3, Lehman falls to 5-3. I'm Adam Lockley, my broadcast partner Brock Myers, saying so long from WBCR 1090 AM via Spreaker.
Hey, Brian, how was your vacation?
It was horrible for us. Every day that passed was a day closer to Derek Jeter's retirement.
True, but there's still so much to look forward to this season. NFL, basketball, hockey, Premier League.
It isn't the same without Derek.
Hey, there may not be another season of Derek Jeter, but...
Yeah?
Nah, I've got nothing. Tune into Heats and Ace Radio every Wednesday, 5 to 6 p.m. on 1090 a.m. and mywbcr.com.
How could you leave me, Derek?
Tune in to Sex and Politics Radio, 6 p.m. Friday nights. For all the news and art in your world, tune in to get turned on to the universe around you. Keep your dial smiling at 1090 AM Radio or mywbcr.com.
Talking Point, where we talk about anything and everything. In this show, you get the news of the day with a funny and witty twist. Listen to Talking Point with Florence Mafomeme, Wednesdays, 10 a.m. at mywbcr.com.
Watch me now. Each and every Thursday. It's the Frequency Takeover, baby. The Frequency Takeover. With the Kid French. I'm talking music, movies, and whatever's high in these streets. And who knows, we might even talk about you. With the guest artist and the guest DJ every week, you don't want to miss a show. Check me out at 2 p.m. on Brooklyn College Radio. Yeah! It's gonna be a movie.
As we welcome you back to the West Quad facility, I'm at broadcast partner Brock Myers in our post-game show. Brooklyn College, legends of 44, and just jumped out on them early, 20-6 lead. Player of the game in this game will be Gabby Elaine, an unlikely source for Brooklyn. She had 10 points in this game, a few good post moves as well on a few occasions. Very unlikely for her.
Yeah, Gabby Elaine, not one of their main scorers, but one of the things she did when you saw Lehman kind of doubling up on Megan Campbell, it was freeing up Gabby really well. And when she got an opportunity down low, she was putting baskets in. That was key for Brooklyn on getting on this big run in the second half that they weren't able to just focus on Megan Campbell, that they had to really focus on everyone else. Asia Foster also put in some big baskets, which helped Megan Campbell, who I believe finished with 28 points in this one, also finished with 12 rebounds. So a great game for her, but Gabby Lane, not one of the main scorers, really coming out with 10 points, was really key in Brooklyn pulling away in the second half. And as we continuously alluded to, a great job defensively. We mentioned before, right before we went to break, Jennifer Navarro, 0 out of 5 from the field, averaging 21 points coming into this game, 46% from the field, 47% from three. And she was really a non-factor from start to finish. Just a non-factor completely. I mean, even, 0 for 5, and that last shot she took was towards the end of the game when she was just throwing something up, trying to get some points. She was trying to do something, but I mean, great job by the Bulldogs defensively of not allowing her to get any looks. That was the key. It wasn't that she wasn't playing well. She wasn't getting looks. She wasn't taking stupid shots. She was taking the shots when they were happening, but they just weren't happening. So a great job defensively and really kind of forced Del Rosario to try to do a little too much. Exactly. In this game, Jennifer Navarro just one clean look at the basket, and that came early in the first half, a three-pointer that she, of course, missed, going 0-5 from the field and not scoring. In Brooklyn, their confidence should be pretty high right now as they've won 3 games in a row. After they lost that game badly to NYU, we were wondering where their confidence was, but now 3 good wins in a row. And now as they take on William Patterson on Monday, they have a pretty big chip on their shoulder. Pretty big chip on their shoulder, but also just a lot of momentum you can carry out of this one, and something that should take them to the rest of the CUNYAC season. Maybe be able to get them a pretty good look at keeping that lead in the conference. Yeah, ending a team's 5-game winning streak should give them a lot of confidence. I'm Adam Lockley, signing off with my broadcast partner, Brock Myers, saying so long from the West Quad facility. And stay tuned. Me and Jonathan Gomez will be back in about 10 minutes. We're going to start off the pregame for as the men's Bulldogs are going to take on Lehman as well. So stay tuned for that right here on Spreaker.com.